right, welcome. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I am Coleman. I'm going to be solo casting today. Looks like we are doing some live things. We're going to jump right down. We've got Anthony playing some Living End and Harry playing something he's not going to tell me. So sorry about the delays there, folks. We're going right down to the battlefield. Yeah. All right, so nope. She decided to play. It's no problem. I'm perfectly fine being back here. So we've got, So we've got Anthony playing Living End, and we've got Harry playing some kind of deck with. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. Can't really control how many people get back here. So Knight of the Reliquary incoming for Harry. Anthony, looks like we had a Fulminator Mage take down a Temple Garden. Gonna draw a Violent Outburst, and true to form, this deck does draw a lot of cards, finding a copy of Living End in the hand. But anyway, sorry for the delay there, folks. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, to say the least. And that was fixed, actually, by Dylan. So, hashtag... thanks, Dylan. That is what we want to say here. So we're going to draw another copy of Knight of the Reliquary from Harry. Pass back from Anthony. His hand is not looking super hot. Harry's going to play that Misty Rainforest. And going to crack it for a probably white source. And yep, we're just going to get another Temple Garden. Bant Evolution. I don't actually know what Harry is playing. He refused to tell me. Looking like Knight of the Reliquary. Oh, I see what it is. I see. He's playing coy with me. I saw a copy of Retreat to Coralhelm in his hand, I think. Sorry for the delay there. There we go. So Anthony is going to get Ghost Quartered, and he's going to go find either a basic swamp or a basic forest. And he's going to settle on a basic forest. But anyway, Quarthian, I saw Tebin here earlier, Pathragus and Braun Bomber. Welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. It's a little later than normal, my apologies. We can only, I just had some technical difficulties. Camera wasn't showing up. Colors were super faded. It is what it is. So an attack by this Knight of the Reliquary, and that's going to get Beast Within. Going to turn that into a beast. Harry's going to look at that Spell Queller in his hand. And he decides not to cast that 2/3 with Flash. He is going to, however, get a beast. Harry, there are tokens in the box. No, I mean the box that Anthony has. There are beast tokens in that box. So we're just gonna get a beast there. What's up, balls? What's up, Steel? No TJ tonight. No, TJ is doing some work things. He is looking to be responsible and, commit to his work. So Anthony's going to find that Simian Spirit Guide. That is the red source, and we are going to see a Violent Outburst. So this card has Cascade. I wonder what it's going to cascade into. Trick question, it's always the same card. So we're going to find a copy of Living End. As soon as we get here, this is probably the most annoying part of the deck. It's just finding the Living End. And there it is. So Harry's going to say, yep, that resolves. I'm going to get a Knight back, though. Yep, true to form. Yep, so this Living End is going to resolve. He is going to get back that Fulminator Mage in his graveyard. And can go after those lands that Harry's getting. They are non-basics. So, he's going to look at that extra copy of Living End. That's always annoying. I guess your mileage may vary on that, but most of the time it's going to be a cascading into Living End. So we're going to swap all those cards out for a good old Fulminator Mage. Now this Land Destruction Plan is a very good backup for Living End. The Beast Withins can target any permanent. But it looks like Harry is going to draw a lot of lands naturally and does have access to that Spell Cooler. So he does have that Windswept Heath, and we are going to go crack it. Look for that, probably a basic forest with that Fulminator Mage in play. It does blow up non-basics. Anthony, where'd that Violent Outburst go?
I accidentally put it in the bottom.
So, oh, well, not retreat to Coralhelm, so it might not even matter here. Yeah, he did. This is the first time Anthony's played Living End, so he might have accidentally confused the rest of the cards. So we'll get it fixed if it's relevant. It actually doesn't look like it's going to be super relevant, because I think Harry is actually comboing off now. So this is looking to be a Yep, this is looking to be actually kind of relevant. It's up to be named 1. So, this, like I said, not really looking super relevant here. Yeah, so Harry's going to go off with the combo, which is Retreat to Coralhelm. Going to pull that up for you guys, for anyone wondering. It's a landfall ability, which is from Battle for Zendikar. Going to untap Knight of the Reliquary a billion times. You're going to sack. You're going to fall down to 11. And we're probably going to go tapping the Fulminator Mage at this point. It is a tap or untap target creature. Looking to tap that. You're going to activate the Knight of the Reliquary. Going to sacrifice that Hallowed Fountain. Going to go find more lands to sacrifice, possibly. And hopefully we can deal the full 20 damage. Going to go find a Misty Rainforest. Going to sack that one too. Going to go find Basic Forest. Untap that. And we've got a count of, I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 1 mana floating. And we are going to see possibly a payoff card in the form of Kessig Wolfrun. I believe that is in the deck. And with the Stomping Ground 2. Yep, there's the Stomping Ground, so we probably are going to see that at some point. Harry's just figuring out what lands he can actually find with that, just to go for the full combo. Gonna crack the Windswept Heath now. Now this deck does get pretty low on life total when it's going through the motions, because that way it's it is a little difficult to get all this stuff into your graveyard without it. Yep, we are probably going to see the full 20 anyway, so the Wolfrun probably not going to be super important here, but looks like Harry is going to go get it anyway. Going to fall down to 6, and then we are going to Wolfrun that 4-2, I believe. Yep, it is just me solo tonight, so Anthony gonna fall in game 1 to Retreat to Coralhelm. Not a deck I expected to show up today. I don't know why. It's a deck that I've always thought was really, really underrated in Modern. It's just Knight of the Reliquary is a very good card, and your deck is just gonna be good enough by itself sometimes. So, anyway, going in here into game 2, I have no idea what Harry's gonna board in, but those Spell Quellers are gonna be very good against the card Living End. So, it's gonna be very awkward for Anthony to try to sideboard his way in. But anyway, how are you all doing tonight? It's about 7:30 here. We're going a little bit later than normal. Just some combination of technical difficulties and some people getting here late, which is me. Any idea what's in Anthony's sideboard? I actually can tell you exactly what the sideboard is. It's 2 copies of Surgical Extraction, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Blood Moon, 2 Shriek Moth, 3 Knot of the Bones, 2 copies of Fairy Macabre, the 3 and 4, and then it is 1 copy of Dead and Gone. That is what I have. Or no, sorry, it's 2 copies of Ingot Chewers, the last card. Last 2 cards. So it also may determine what he's going to board out. Hello to Muscles. That is a very nice name for you to have. Muscles. Muscles. Knot of the Bone. That's not Brindleborn. That's correct. This is actually my deck. I like Knot of the Bone a little bit more than I like Brindlebore. That's probably the wrong call, but it's the one I like because I like Knot of the Bone. I think that card's very cool. Did I just say Surgical? I did not say Surgical. I said Fairy Macabre. Fairy Macabre is a little bit better than Surgical Extraction and Living End, especially since you can cascade through it. Yeah, Fairy Macabre, probably Blood Moon coming in. Harry's deck is very non-basic focused. And he is running 1 copy of Karizev's Expertise to cast those Living Ends that get stuck in your hand, because the deck does draw a lot of cards. You didn't see that game 1 because I think Anthony's hand was a little bit odd in that he had green-black lands and I think red cyclers, which can happen. Got greedy with it and went with Ravenous Trap. Ooh, that is living dangerously there. I do like Ravenous Trap. I think Fairy Macabre's a little bit better. You could do that if you could play Surgical in the sideboard if you are not focused on Living End post board, which is a perfectly normal thing to be doing. But I don't believe that is what the general form of Living End is, and that's what I copied. I copied a just general form of a deck. I did say Slaughter Games. I might have heard it as Surgical Extraction. No ley lines? That's correct. There are no ley lines in the board for Living End. And we're going to see Copperline Gorge from Anthony. He's going to wait till Harry's end step to start cycling. But Harry is going to start off with a 1-drop. Probably a Birds of Paradise, since that is what he wants to be doing quickly. Yeah, no turn 1 Blood Moon. That's correct. The turn 1 Blood Moon hands are very odd for Living End. So a cycle of a Monstrous Carabid, gonna untap, gonna draw a Zealous, or a Violent Outburst, which is 1/2 of the way there. He does have red and green mana, and that is a little bit difficult to find. Mana base can be a little daunting without the fully powered mana base of Grove of the Burnwillows, which I do not have because I just don't have them. That's the way it works. So here he's going to draw a copy of, I believe that was a land, and he is going to cast a Scavenging Ooze. Now that card is very good against Living End, as well, when you're trying to play a graveyard deck, it is pretty rough. Anthony does have a copy of Beast Within, however, and that is normally a very good card against a Scavenging Ooze deck. And what you might see here is it does depend on if he has a third land, and it looks like he doesn't. That is going to be a little awkward, because you don't want to exile the Spirit Guide to go after the Scavenging Ooze when you're lacking your third land drop. He's going to untap. He's going to find another land, which is actually probably what he wants. Oh, sorry, that was a Birds of Paradise. Looks like a land to me, but he's going to exile the Monstrous Carabid, going to gain a life, put a counter on that Scavenging Ooze, and come into the red zone for 3. Anthony's going to fall to 17. We are going to find that third land. It looks like Harry doesn't actually have another land in his hand, which is going to be very awkward. And Anthony is going to look at his hand of, I believe... Oh, we're going to see a Fulminator Mage. Now, that's actually going to be pretty good. Here he's going to look at that Negate in his hand and, well, not be able to counter that Fulminator Mage. No TJ today? That's correct. TJ is doing some work things. He is at a meeting at work, which is... obviously not here. So, yep, that is what it is. So we're going to see a block, a sack, going to go after that Breeding Pool. With Harry, now, we know Harry does have another land in his hand, but Anthony does not. So when your opponent misses a land drop, you really want to go after his lands. But a Bojuka Bog incoming from Harry. That was the land, so that is... little unfortunate. We do find Blood Moon, but this is going to get negated. Do you not have Ricochet Traps? I do have. I have 2 Ricochet Traps. Sorry, those are the other 2 cards. I was trying to figure out what those last 2 cards were in my head. There are 2 Ricochet Traps, but it's probable that Anthony didn't board them in. Probably not expecting negate post board. So we're gonna see. Voice of Resurgence from Harry, and an attack for 3. Gonna put Anthony down to 14. Anthony's gonna find it is Anthony's turn to draw some lands now. We are going to cycle Horror of the Broken Lands. Gonna find another land. And I think what Anthony might be doing is he might be trying to bait Harry into activating the Scavenging Ooze on Anthony's own turn. He's going to crack a fetch, and we're going to go get a Overgrown Tomb tapped. Now, putting that into play tapped is very interesting. He does have, well, actually, no, he does have that copy of Simeon's Spirit Guide to be able to try to get that Horror of the Broken Lands back. So that is not nothing here. And we are what are we going to do? We are going to look at our hand, and we're just going to pass the turn back. Harry deciding not to try to go for it. We're going to find a copy of Retreat to Coralhelm, I believe. So, oh, we also have a copy of another copy of Negate. So that would be one reason why Harry is deciding not to do anything on Anthony's turn. Going to try to hold up the Negate. And we are going to cast a Violent Outburst. We're going to get a Cascade trigger. Oh, it's the top card of your library. Nice. So, Negate going to take down the Living End. That Violent Outburst does technically resolve, so Anthony's creatures are in fact going to get +1/+0 until end of turn, but he does not have anything to get back, which is a little unfortunate. So he's going to fall down to 6 by cracking this fetch land. He's actually going to fall all the way down to 4. Yep, he does in fact get 2 voice tokens, but it looks like Harry didn't remember the trigger. So that is a little unfortunate. Anthony is going to look at his hand of Beast Within for sure. I believe he has another copy of Violent Outburst. And we are going to Swamp Cycle the Twisted Abomination. Go find a swamp of any kind. It doesn't have to be a basic. But yep, I don't believe so either. This is looking very good for the retreat deck. A Scavenging Ooze plus 2 pieces of Disruption is very good against a combo deck that's trying to use its graveyard. He's been sitting on the Scavenging Ooze for a while, and it's gonna be looking pretty good. And looks like we're gonna cast another Violent Outburst, and we are going to find a copy of Living End. It'll be copy number 2 of 3. As soon as we find it off the top here. And there it is. We're going to cast a Living End. Harry's going to respond by exiling that Twisted Abomination, but crucially, Anthony is going to be facing only a voice token if Harry remembers the triggers. And it's just that Living End needs to be... Remember, the Living End goes in the graveyard too. Alright, so... So, this is going to be a voice token versus the world right now. And at this point, with Anthony at a low life total, I gotta figure it's going to be that voice token that's going to actually win the game. Just looking for that voice token. So it's interesting that Anthony's hand went for that. It is in fact a 4-turn clock. 4-turn clock by itself. Why would he get a token? Because you do sacrifice the Voice of Resurgence in play. It's not an exile, it is a sacrifice. So we are going to actually see that voice get a token. Yes, it did actually. You sacrifice all creatures in play, so the voice would trigger. Yeah. It's you exile everything in the graveyard and sacrifice everything in play. Then the creatures from exile come back. So... Sure.
Back from round 1.
Well, looks like we got a Wild Mave appeared.
Alright, Wild Mave. I'm Mave. Okay. I went infinite. Game 3.
How'd that go for you? Pretty good?
Well, I had a lot of health.
So...
Living End. Is this your deck?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. I can tell by the pink sleeves.
Not the white Borderlands?
Well, I wasn't looking at that quite yet.
Oh, okay. So...
That's a pretty good board state for... No, it's exiled. Oh, gosh. You have a lot of stuff exiled. Am I saying that right?
Yep, that is a Fulminator Mage versus voice token right now, actually.
Ouch.
So Harry is going to...
3 mana.
Eternal Witness back a spell.
Sure.
It's going to be very good against, well, Anthony's board state.
Strangely.
And we're going to get back a land. We're going to play the land.
Land for turn.
And going to represent something. But
Hi, people.
so we're going to block with Fulminator Mage. We're going to sack it to blow up a land of Anthony's choice. As long as it's non-basic.
Yes.
And we're going to untap. We're going to look to play a spell of some kind,
Thanks,
hopefully.
Dutch.
And we're going to find something. Muffin button.
Muffin button.
As opposed to every other kind of button.
Yeah. Are you related to the mud button Torch Runner? button. Mud button. It's a stretch.
So we're gonna beast within our own land.
I'll
Gonna
take
make
it.
a 3/3. And we're gonna
Totally cool with
untap.
that.
And we're gonna attack with both creatures, and that is
Swing
actually
5. Strangely enough,
going to
is
be the
enough to get
game.
there. Let's just spell queller. Oh gosh.
yeah. Yeah, witness. Unfair graveyard recursion. It's
Yeah,
only
strange.
man, it's rough for living ends sometimes.
Yeah.
But we are gonna see Bant retreat to Coral Helm. Take
Bant
down
retreat.
Living End. Game 1 look it was a little rough, game 2 was a little actually rougher. So
Hey, that's not my Twitter.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
I'm gonna
I am
I'm
aware.
gonna go find another match though. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine.
See you, chat.
Alright, David's just gonna take off while trying to find us another match for round 1. TJ took the night off, that's correct. TJ's got a work thing that he's at. He asked me if I could cover for him, which is no problem, because then I get to see all you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome. Tell Harry he missed 2 triggers that game. I'm sure he actually realizes it at the end of the game. He does. He probably just said, sure, I'm just going to counter whatever. Probably going to forget my voice triggers. It is what it is. He's generally a pretty tight player.
You know, when we're 10 minutes left in round, pretty much everybody is done or finishing up.
I did know that.
Oh my gosh, so strange.
So... so, there you go.
Professional.
Professional.
With my hair that's see-through.
No, I didn't realize that until now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Professional stream.
what is the chance TJ shows up
We
by the
can
end of the stream?
ask him. No promises. But we can ask him.
It's a non-zero amount, but probably a little lower than you think it is.
Higher than 0, lower than 100.
Well, those are the percentage points.
Yeah. That's kind of that was the
Oh,
joke.
okay. Oh, thanks. I am very unfunny sometimes. Just gonna do that.
Oh, that helps so much.
Yep. There we go.
Probably from TJ. Yeah, Aether hair. I'm actually an Aetherborn.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, so my time's ending.
I was gonna
As
say,
you
how
can
do you
see.
how do you feel about the hubs then? If you're Aetherborn.
Dude, the promos?
No, just hub.
Hub.
An Aether hub.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I have a lot of energy, love it.
Oh, okay.
Tonight I do, because I had an energy drink and a half, so we are chock full of energy.
Chock full of energy,
Chock
you say,
full, yep.
as opposed to chock empty.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Chuck has been working recently, and
Mhm.
so he's got a bank.
It's full.
Yeah, it's full.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, there are some people who see the glass half full,
Yeah,
but then there are people who see the glass half empty.
yeah, like Chuck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you just. Never mind. I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah. Hey, chat.
Hmm.
How's chat? Was everybody tuning in from chat?
Yeah.
Hi, chat.
You guys are awesome. Sorry for the late start again.
Do you guys? Yeah.
I just had some technical problems.
Tom Hanks Ghost. Oh, hi, Tom Hanks Ghost.
What's up, Tom Hanks Ghost?
That's great. I love that.
I don't believe you're actually a ghost, though.
He's actually Tom Hanks Ghost.
Well, no, he's not a ghost, though, because if he was a ghost, he wouldn't be able to.
Doing okay.
It's a type.
Where's everybody tuning in? I'm seeing a lot of new names tonight.
Yeah, we've got a.
Like Tom Hanks Ghost.
I get the feeling that's a rename of some kind.
Possibly.
Because of that right there.
Oh, he's a mod. Hey. Wow, that's what that means. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a sword.
He's actually Tom Hanks. Hopefully he lives forever.
I agree. Tom
Rest in
Hanks.
forever, Tom Hanks.
Yep, that is the terminology. Rest
Is
in
that
forever.
Doro? I feel like that's Doro. Utah. Oh man. Utah is forever away. Sleeving Lantern. Shame on you. I can't say too much because I'm playing really bad artifacts too. So like, I want infinite. Like, can we talk about this for a second?
Sure.
I had a Chalice on the board, and
Okay.
he dressed me, and I showed him my hand, and halfway through him choosing out what to pick, I was like, oh wait, Chalice. Well, now you know I'm going infinite next turn. Yeah. It was a thing.
I don't know what it is about Chalice of the Void in this store.
Dude, I love my
Nope.
chalices.
No one remembers Chalice triggers.
They're actually TJ's, but I love them anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why no one remembers Chalices, because they're all TJs?
Yeah, dude.
And TJ, whenever he sees a Chalice, is always like,
Portland a few months ago. When is the Portland GP?
It is in October.
That's so far away.
It is my birthday month.
What?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Maybe I'll go this year.
Well, I believe it's standard.
Abzan Comp. I just noticed that. I'm sorry. I love Abzan. Chalice, yes. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's Tezzeret. I had to sack the Chalice to Crack Clan Ironworks to go infinite. But I feel like...
Oh, darn.
Darn? Like...
Yeah. You can only... Oh, man. What are you going to do? Now they can play 1-drops again.
Go infinite. Yeah, because then he played a Viserys here next turn.
Also...
After I went infinite.
Also, mostly lost. I hope you like clicking. Because that's what happens...
Click.
That's what happens when you...
Play Abzan Company.
You play Absent
Hi,
Company.
it's the next round up.
The last match is on game 3, so it should be just 2 minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you. Okay, so we just have one match outstanding.
You know what? I bet he's pretty good at his field.
Well, I think all of our matches are outstanding in a general sense,
Yeah.
but this one is specifically outstanding.
And you know what, Rabbit Goat? So do I, right? Like, I just want infinite. I can't really complain.
Well, I do like going
And in
infinite.
modern, like, there's one other deck that does that, and Mostly Lost is about ready to click for that one.
A couple decks that go infinite.
Are there?
They're just not good.
Yeah. What do you feel about Time Civ instead of Crack Clan?
You are always going to get me to... I'm always going to back Time Sieve.
Really?
That card is very, very cool.
See, it's a lower CMC, but I would not have been able to do my stuff because I needed one more mana.
But it's way cooler.
You're not wrong.
I operate on the sweet
coolness
factor, and
I built Lantern on camera. Do we have a Lantern? I don't think
do
we
not have Lantern
Not right
out
now.
there. I did a little bit of a cursory
So-
check while
Good. I'm gonna be honest. Good.
That's true. I am discounting eggs from this scenario.
It's actually tier -1, right? Because
Oh,
it's,
is it?
It's an eternal deck, right? So like it's been around for forever and 1.5 million. And then it's eggs.
Eggs is gonna eggs. It is part of a nutritional
Egg.
breakfast.
It is.
So I gotta say, for everyone out there who doesn't like eggs, I know where you're coming from, but at the same time, I don't believe you because I know you eat eggs. Yes, that metaphor made complete sense.
Sure.
Okay, here's one of my favorite things to do with Lantern. Opponent mulls, scries top, turn 1 Shredder, Milieu. Yep, that is actually a pretty common thing.
What are you doing in Mantel Drowsy that goes infinite? I would actually like to know.
You can
Uh,
you can have what's the thing that makes your training grounds?
Oh yeah, Training Grounds and Eldrazi Displacer and what's
Just,
the
Drowner of Hope.
Drowner of Hope.
Yep, that actually will let you
Drown
go
them in all of the hope.
get infinite dudes. And actually, you will win the game on the spot if you have a Thought-Knot here.
Strangely.
Yeah, look at that. Hello, G Lavamancer.
To your number format exception.
Burning things.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually an Aetherborn and I'm starting to fizzle out.
Yep, it's
So
starting
Coleman,
to fade into the background.
I'm actually also a Aetherborn vampire. So
Ah.
I'm gonna need to speak with you privately.
Oh,
out
sure.
back, out back.
I couldn't tell you what it's going to be about.
Oh,
though.
who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, it's if I appear more pale
Yeah.
the next time, pay it no mind.
Yeah, if he appears next time.
Yeah, well,
Thank
I
you,
assume
Berman.
I'm going to actually appear at some
Oh
point.
yeah, you will. A plus me. Lore is actually the only reason I play a lot of things.
I do like the art. though.
I'm pretty sure I know more about WoW lore than 99% of the population.
Well, you definitely know more than me because I know nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm basically Jon Snow in this scenario.
You know nothing. Except for Game of Thrones. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm a terrible person.
You play World of Warcraft,
Oh
and
my
you
gosh.
don't watch Game of Thrones.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, did you know a year ago today, I held the door? That episode came out a year ago today. Or yesterday, maybe. Team NFG bot.
Thank you for the auto host.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with Pithing Needle effects, you have to actually name a card that's legal in the format.
Yep.
So you cannot name a card that doesn't exist.
What's the lore
Or
behind
is not legal in the
Tez?
format, I should say.
So, in my deck, Tez was like, hey, you guys are good at making mana, and this foundry that I have is good at making Thopters
Okay.
4 mana.
Okay.
And they were like, wow, let's be friends.
That's the full story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it weird that I kind of want to put Crack's Thumb in the deck just
Crack's
so I
Thumb.
can just so I can have Crack Clan Ironworks and Crack's Thumb at the same time?
I'm trying to figure out. Hold on.
I need a card to make me flip a coin though. Just one.
Just one.
I'll just have like what's the red card that lets you flip 3 coins? The art is somebody with juggling and like there's like 3 rings of fire or something. Come on, chat, you know this. It's
flipping
like
3 coins?
yeah, you flip 3 coins. You flip 1, and if you
Oh,
if you get
whims,
it right, you do
whims
3
of
damage.
something.
No, that's Whims of the Fate. You flip 3 coins. If you get one right,
Fiery Gambit?
Fiery Gambit.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Sir Jigglesworth. I want to put that in, so I can flip 6 coins and pick 3.
Okay. So you want to do that.
Yeah. Also, I need to bring red back for that.
I don't.
We gotta go back to
I
Grixis.
don't even know what Fiery Gambit does, honestly.
So you flip a coin. If you win, does 3 damage. Then you can flip another one, and if you flip, and if you get it correct, I believe you do 6. Like it's World Fire.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the 3rd one does. But
It seems like a lot of work for something that's based.
yeah, but you also have Crack's Thumb, so you almost always.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen.
I've always.
Chat, let me know.
So we're talking about the lore, right? Of this
Are
scenario.
we going back to Vorthos?
Well, no, like
Oh.
you of this scenario, it's always just like, how does have a thumb
Yes.
help you with like a gambit?
It's his lucky thumb.
I know, but like that doesn't make sense to me.
For the ones playing with fire, yeah. Yeah, I could dig it.
That just like always does not make sense to me.
Why?
Just because it's a thumb.
Yeah, it's like a rabbit's foot. Crack's Thumb, rabbit's foot. Get both of them. Now you get to roll 3 or flip 3 coins per coin, and it's mighty working. And that's just good value. You know what I like? Value. That's why I play value.deck. I got to counter my opponent's duress. Value.
I guess that's fair. You flip the coin. Oh, you flip the coin with his thumb. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Also, yeah.
Okay, but just like, yeah, there's always just like those lore questions that like I try to make sense of in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have a moat, why aren't your creatures able to attack? Because you can control when the drawbridge goes up and down.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that has never made sense to me.
That's why with Ensnaring Bridge, my Thopters get overhead because they're 1/1s and I have 1 card in hand. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Like,
That was the joke.
the Thopters shouldn't have to walk across a bridge.
Yeah, they're Thopters.
Yeah, they just fly.
Yeah. Well, that's the flavor there is I draw a card and then I attack with all my Thopters and then I play the card.
That's not flavor, that's gameplay.
Yeah, that's pretty good gameplay.
That's a different thing. Who won Ad Nauseam or Nightfall? That was actually Living End.
Yeah.
It was Living End versus Nightfall, and Nightfall actually took it down on the back of a Scavenging Ooze plus
Pretty not bad.
some negates game 2.
Did you know when you can exile things out of Living End's graveyard, it's pretty good?
I did actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty decent.
It's pretty decent plus.
But yeah, I think Scavenging Ooze is. Oh, thanks. I was unaware. Scavenging Ooze actually for Living End isn't actually as bad as you think it is. It's the classic. I'm gonna play a hate card and
Sure.
It's very resilient.
Yeah, because I mean you just draw more cards, right? You
Uh,
just draw more than
You just start playing your things.
Oh, just
suddenly-
hard you just start
yeah.
hard casting your 5/6 drops.
Yeah, like your
Oh,
6/4s for 6.
Yeah, right. That's pretty
And
good.
your opponent's gonna have a Scavenging Ooze, and I'm like, oh, well, this card would be good, but I can't beat a 6/4. Like it's it's pretty funny. It's just always that's one of those things.
Oh, see, no, here we go. Right. Pythagoras has got it. The flavor is that the card is being carried to the battlefield by the Thopters while they cross the bridge and accidentally hit the opponent on their way in. Right?
But that doesn't.
Listen, let me have this. Or I will spend an hour telling you about the first war.
Of what?
Warcraft.
Oh, if we're gonna go down this scenario,
Yeah.
I can tell you more than
Yeah,
I
Black
really
Man Company.
should about Mass Effect.
I don't care.
Uh,
Hey, there's Doro. Doro, I found Tom Hanks. Todd, Steven.
Thank you for the host, Todd, for the 9 viewers.
Todd, I got to play with your tokens today. I went infinite, and so I put Todd Stevens tokens.
Well, you know, apparently you and Todd both love value.
Dude,
So look at that.
Value is basically the only reason I ever play this game. I got to Ultimate Tezzeret and not lose them. You know how good that feels? Yesterday on stream. Or Saturday on stream.
That is pretty good. Ultimating a
good.
planeswalker and not having to put
So
it in the graveyard.
so much value, right?
That is a fair bit of value.
A little bit.
But there are 104 people watching us.
Hi, 104 people.
Yeah, look at that. You
Where's-
got.
How many new people? Are there any new people?
Yeah, if this is your first time in the stream.
Let us know. We
Yeah.
love new people.
Yeah, and if it's your first, if you are,
Can I get a chat up for me? Okay.
I suppose.
Suppose.
I suppose.
Suppose. I'm cool, man.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, it does, kind of. Oh, wait, with your logic, Coleman.
Yep, I do love me some logic games. Don't ignore this.
Logic not thought seer. Damn it.
Logic
I
thought
tried.
not seer.
Logic thought not seer.
I
I can get behind that.
logic not
Personally.
logic not seer.
I have dinosaurs.
I think I like logic not seer.
Yeah.
That sounds actually really interesting.
Is your chat behind stream chat?
No.
No, because this quote came up and then that
we've
came
been
up.
having some
Oh, they're coming at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
we've
I
been
just thought it
there have
was
been
the
some
other
technical difficulties
Yeah, that's-
today.
well,
So
see, and
we're
that's-
operating with what we got.
And that's why I wasn't here at the start, because we were having technical difficulties, and I finally bought a Mox Opal. So I was like, I really want to play Mox Opal. I did. I got to play Mox Opal once. It's a one-off, so I'm like, I'm not really... Yeah, I got mad. It's actually... So, I'm an Aetherborn. Yeah.
Yep. She's
Yeah.
just fading into the
Fading
multiverse.
into, well, the sky. As we shoot whales.
Yeah.
We're out whale hunting.
Well, I'm not out whale hunting.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm
Are you
actually.
seeing the whale behind us? It's
No, I
huge.
see back there.
It's so
Crucially,
big.
I'm
it
not
has barely
facing back
moved.
there though.
It's so big the whale's barely moved, right?
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
true.
far we are.
We are. I think we're just having a leisurely cruise,
Yeah.
but the people behind us are they're doing the whale hunting.
Do we have Storm in the tournament tonight? I do not believe so.
We might.
Chance isn't here.
We might have Storm.
Am I still in Bug Delver? And I actually don't have my legacy list anymore, so I'm gonna say no. Sorry.
By the way, hello to everyone who is just coming in. I saw. I see you, Jatron. I see you.
Jatron. She's going to the moon. She's bringing the harpoon.
Well, they are whalers of the moon.
Whalers on the moon.
Of the moon.
We carry on the moon.
It's of.
They're on.
I thought it was of whalers of the moon.
Probably. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
okay.
been a while since I've seen that episode.
Oh, now you're gonna make. Now I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh man.
After stream. If we
Yep.
have time. I gotta go
Yep.
to work though, so. Maybe. Yeah, Rip Legacy. Sorry.
No, that's
I
gonna
really,
bother
I really
me
enjoyed
forever.
it. I'm playing another grindy deck in Modern, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
No, you're playing this same deck.
Bug Delver.
You would be playing the same deck in Legacy if you could.
Oh, Tezzerator? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like-
now that I have it, and now that it's like... Oh, no, of course.
There'd be a lot of.
Turn 1 Tezzeret Agent of Bolus seems kind of okay.
If you can turn one it, you got my congratulations.
Yeah, yeah. So, Soul Land, double Mox Diamond, ditching 2 lands, Tezzeret. That's six cards. You have 1 left in hand. That's an Ensnaring Bridge. We're gonna make a Mox Diamond into a 5/5 and pass.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems good.
Assuming your opponent doesn't have Force of Will.
I mean, probably. When I played Ian Price's Legacy Tezzeret deck
Okay.
on Friday against James Johnson. He's a Storm player, a local gardening Storm player. I kept an awesome hand, and he had double Force of Will.
Yep, that sounds about right. So I believe our next round is up.
No! Alright, I gotta go play.
Okay, so...
We have Logan on the not
Come
wall.
and join us.
No. I'll be back, chat. Bye, chat.
He's playing Martyr Tokens.
Okay. I know what you're playing.
Okay.
I do not know... I do not know...
Brian.
Okay.
Oh, well.
So, we do have round 2 available. So we have Logan versus Brian. We've got some tokens versus combo elves, actually. So yeah, we've got tokens versus combo elves. There's going to be a lot of creatures in play, only some of them are not going to be real creatures. But hopefully we are going to see some real gameplay. Yeah, that is a joke I just made. Right? Yeah. I apologize. That was not a good joke. I know it's not a good joke. But anyway, we're going to see... I guess I'm going to see you down there. Maeva's going to go play some games. C+, that's generous. That's generous for that joke. That's very generous. But yeah, let's go down. Yeah. All right, we're gonna come down to the battlefield, I should say, and we're gonna look at Brian on the play. We're gonna start with Concealed Courtyard, and we're gonna pass. Logan looking to play a Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elf substitute for Logan. He's gonna fall down to 17. Gonna go get that breeding pool, and Brian is gonna have a Fatal Push for that Mana Dork. He's gonna look at his hand, gonna play an Arid Mesa, and gonna crack it. Going to probably fall. Oh, looks like he's just gonna go get a basic mountain. And probably going to look to play a Young Pyromancer, also known as the best MC in the Magic game. Oh no, we're just going to play an Intangible Virtue. So, deciding to play a thing that pumps all your dudes is a pretty strong play on turn 2. Logan not hitting a second land is not actually as big of a deal with this elf deck, because you do play a lot of 1-mana creatures, and that works very well off of the mana production. Combo Elves as in Cloudstone Curio. That's correct. This is the Cloudstone Curio deck. So you're going to see him try to cast a Beck and Call and go off by playing his entire deck. So that's pretty good. And Brian is going to play some kind of card, hopefully. I don't think he wants to fetch, shock, and pass. It's not really what he wants to be doing. We're going to start with a Fatal Push on the other Elvish Mystic. So really trying to restrict Logan's mana production. We're going to see Collective Brutality. I'm going to discard a card to probably escalate it once. Nope, we're just going to drain him. Interesting. Or just an old-fashioned Siphon Life. Gonna put Brian up to 18 and Logan down to 15. Logan's gonna draw a second land, gonna play an Elvish Visionary. And we're going to draw Elvish Mystic number 3. I wonder if that one's going to get pushed down a well as well. Brian is going to look at a, Lingering Souls. Going to make 2 spirits. And of course, they do get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Probably going to play that Bloodstained Mire as well. And we're going to pass the turn on back to Logan, who is going to draw another basic forest. And maybe thinking about casting that Reclamation Sage now to blow up that Intangible Virtue. Now the card may give +1/+1. Nope, never mind. Not going through with that joke, because it's not going to lead anywhere. Yep, we are going to see Rex Sage going to take down that Virtue. And Brian's going to go he's going to first crack his fetch on the end step, and then go to untap. Hello, JB Red Phoenix. It's been a while since you've been here. No, TJ. That's correct. TJ is at his place of work, and a collaboration with other members of his work group, also known as a meeting. So Brian's going to untap. He's going to draw a multicolored spell of some kind. I believe that's a Sorin, Lord of Innistrad. That's correct. It is a Sorin, Lord of Innistrad. What is this sorcery? Actually, I'd call it an instant. I think it's this came into play. This seems like a card with flash. So I feel like that card would be an instant. So this is going to give his creatures +1/+0 and lifelink. Oh, no, my bad. It is the other Sorin, not Lord of Innistrad. Solemn Visitor. That is my apologies. Hey, got one. That's how you know your jokes are landing well, when they audibly groan. That's how you know the jokes are landing well. So Logan's going to crack his fetch, finding his 4th land. Now, actually, on 4 lands, this is a little more than he wants. Really looking to only have about 3 lands in play, but we are going to cast back. I believe he does have a Heritage Druid, so we're going to try to draw a bunch of cards here. So Heritage Druid, we're going to draw a card. Going to look to tap some mana here, maybe find... we do have a green mana symbol there for you. Look to maybe find a Dwynen's Elite to really get the party going. But nope, we're just going to find more Mana Dorks. This is the Beck and Call deck, so we're just going to... We did find Nettle Sentinel, which is a good start to maybe generating more and more mana. So we're going to untap that, we're going to draw a card. We are going to find a Summoner's Pact. Now, what is the Summoner's Pact going to do? We're going to go Pact. Probably going to go for a Dwynen's Elite. Yep, I remember this deck very well. So yep, we are going to find a Dwynen's Elite. Going to probably try to draw 2 cards. It's a little bit better than Elvish Visionary in this circumstance. But it looks like Logan... Yep, he's just debating whether or not he wants to find Dwynen's Elite or another Nettle Sentinel. And I think... Yep, we're going to go for Dwynen's Elite. This is the one making 2 creatures. Going to draw 2 cards off back. Yep, we're going to have all those creatures be tapped. Gonna put a reminder there, that way we don't lose on our upkeep. Dwynen's Elite's gonna come into play, gonna make an elf token. And we are gonna find an Essence Warden. We are gonna go back up to 3 mana. Gonna fall back down to 2, gonna find an Essence Warden, gonna draw a card, untap the Nettle Sentinel, and we do not find another spell. Or another creature. So, we're going to have to actually pass the turn back to Brian. But we do have access to that Essence Warden, which is actually going to be very good against the tokens deck. They do make a lot of creatures to trigger it. And of course, you know, I'm gonna put about 12 creatures into play. That's gonna be very good. That's actually that's a very good question, Bridge. So the differences between Legacy Elves and Modern Elves is you don't have to be splashing blue to play your Glimpse of Nature effect, because you can play literal Glimpse of Nature. Gaia's Cradle, Wirewood Symbiote's the biggest one, and Green Sun Zenith. Those two are the huge differences between the deck. There's a probably very, very long there's a very long discussion to be had about that, but that's the in general synopsis. Stopped in to say hello before bedtime. I haven't met you. Evening chat. Yeah. Welcome. It's been a while. I don't think I recognize your username, so yeah, it's a pleasure having you here. Zealous Conscript's going to take down most of Logan's board state. That is a very good card. It's a very good card for Logan to be playing, or no, for Brian to be playing. It's not for Logan to be playing. He doesn't like playing against that card, which is understandable. So, on his upkeep, he's going to pay for the Summoner's Pact so he doesn't lose on the spot. We're going to draw a 7-drop. Not exactly what you want to do when most of your creatures just got killed. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so Zealous Persecution winning the game there for Brian. Turns out when you have when you play a lot of X1s and your opponent has access to Zealous Persecution, it's going to be, as they say, a rough time. Giving -1 to all of Logan's creatures. It's very good. So, gonna come to the sideboard here. Brian is looking at some tokens. I believe that's some copies of Blood Moon, an extra Pyromancer, some Surgicals. And in Logan's sideboard, I see he's bringing in maybe a couple copies of Swan Song. Dispel, a Spellskite, and I believe 2 copies of Anissa of some kind. Now that's going to be pretty interesting. And Brian deciding that he's going to shave a copy of, I think that was Collective Brutality, which the maybe a little bit maybe a little bit presumptuous. So, what are we going to do? Well, Logan's going to be on the play for this next game, so it is going to impact his mulliganing decisions, also his sideboard decisions, I would think. He's going to board out that Reclamation Sage and 2 copies of Back Call. Yep, and it looks like he's also going to board out a copy of Dwynen's Elite for some counter spells. Really looking to counter that Zealous Persecution. Really cannot overstate how good that card was there. The only thing that would have been better is if somehow Logan couldn't have paid for his pact afterwards. Funny enough, I actually can't take the and off of that. It is literally just me. Some things I actually can't do. And blink. That's true. Yep. It's all of you. That's who are with me here today, right? I'm gonna put that in. There we go. It's gonna show up there in a second. So look at that. All of you are actually with me today. Nope. I'm actually gonna do that. Enter GG Plus. It actually has been a while since you did that. It has been a while since we were here. Well, welcome back. Well, congratulations. What format was it, and what deck were you playing? If it was Modern, then well, you chose the right stream to come back to, because we're playing some Modern action here. And if it wasn't, still congratulations, because winning a GPT is not easy. Modern and Storm. That's a good combination. I do like Modern, I do like Storm. So, Brian's going to draw an Inquisition of Kozilek. And Logan's hand is, well, it's something, alright. It's 3 copies of Summoner's Pact and 1 copy of Cloudstone Curio. As soon as Brian gets to untap, he's going to cast that Inquisition, and Logan's hand is going to look a lot worse. We're going to find a copy of Elvish Mystic. You'll never guess what I drew off the top. Brian is going to draw the Young Pyromancer. And now he might be thinking about holding off a turn to try to get some extra value off the Young Pyromancer, or he might just say, you know what, this Inquisition's got to be pretty good if Logan didn't do anything on turn 1, and then played a Mana Dork on turn 2. And Brian is going to play the basic Mountain, I believe. Is that the Cloudstone Curio Elf combo? That's correct. This is the Cloudstone Curio deck. Gonna look to play a lot of things, and it looks like Brian is going to Fatal Push the Elvish Mystic instead of Inquisitioning, and I'm not sure if that's going to come back to bite him. I don't know what kind of artifact removal Brian has in his deck. Possibly a copy of Colligan's Command that he could draw to, because once you have the Curio in play, you can try to make a more grindy game plan instead of the full combo, especially against attrition style decks like this Mardu Tokens deck. And we're going to play this copy of Forbidden Orchard. Going to give Brian a Spirit. Crucially, the Spirit does not have flying. And we're going to play Cloudstone Curio. Yep, Brian's just going to read it. It's actually a great time to pull up the card as well. He's going to draw another copy of Inquisition. Who won game 1? Brian did, actually. That is a good thing to mark up here. So, Young Pyromancer plus an Inquisition. Going to reveal Logan's hand. No problem. It's going to reveal Logan's hand of 3 copies of Summoner's Pact and an Elvish Visionary. Not exactly the most... not exactly the best hand in the world. Especially when you're getting Inquisition, because that Visionary is probably not long for this game. But yeah, Cloudstone Curio, that's the artifact that Logan has in play. It's slightly off screen there. But it's the way that Logan decides to go infinite. And he looks like Brian is just going to go after that Elvish Visionary. And we are going to see an attack for 1 from that Spirit that Logan very graciously gave to him. And we're just going to see it. We're going to double pact. So now Logan's going to try to go for it. There's actually a legit reason that Summoner's Pact is in this deck. Because the 4 mana for Cloudstone Curio and the mana from Court of Culling, sorry, just blanked on that name for a second, is actually worse than Summoner's Pact in this deck, because right here, 2 packs and he's nigh infinite. As you're going to see right now that he's actually going to make he's going to make nigh infinite mana here for the low cost of 2 creatures. So he's going to play the Heritage Druid and the Dwynen's Elite. The Dwynen's Elite is going to make a trigger, or is going to make a elf off of that trigger. Then he's going to stack these triggers off the Cloudstone Curio to return cards to his hand. I'm going to float 3 mana with that Heritage Druid. And we are going to rinse and repeat this process. Going to bounce that Heritage Druid. Going to float 3 mana. Going to play the Heritage Druid again. yada yada yada, we're gonna end up with about infinite tapped creatures. We're gonna make as many as we want. Yeah, he's got to find another Zealous Persecution right here, or Brian actually is going to be done for. And now Logan is looking to find... Looks like we're going to play an Elvish Visionary. We're going to draw a card. Going to put that trigger on the stack. We're going to find an Elvish Mystic. Now that is very close to going off as well. Going to bounce Dwynen's Elite. And we are going to pass the turn back. And yes, actually, if Brian realizes that he can kill the Heritage Druid, that will cause Logan to not be able to pay for the 2 Summoners packs. That is correct. The Best Bean 1000. Oh, that would be accurate on your username. It is the Best Bean. So, that's very true. Alright, so Logan's just stacking about 1 billion of these. And I don't think Brian actually has a removal spell. Yep, Inquisitioning the... not Inquisitioning, or casting Fatal Push instead of Inquisition really came back to bite him. And also, for people wondering, he actually cast 2 Summoners packs and not 1. So that is actually a little unfortunate. Sure, I can run through this combo one more time. What do the dice represent? That's how many tokens he's making. That's as many as he wants. How is he making all this mana? Heritage Druid is actually something I can pull up as well. It is the engine of this deck for making mana. It is just to... It says, tap 3 untapped elves you control, add 3 green to your mana pool. Now, in combination with Dwynen's Elite, which makes a 1/1 elf when it enters the battlefield, if you control another elf, you can actually add 3 mana immediately. And then with Cloudstone Curio's trigger, that says whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you can bounce whatever permanent you want, and you can bounce a permanent that actually has the same type. So in this case, you bounce the Dwynen's Elite, the actual card with the elf trigger, with the token trigger, and then you play it again. You get more dudes. You actually make infinite amount of tapped elves this way. And this is that's how he makes infinite ones of those. Those 2 Summoners packs that has to pay for in his upkeep are going to be tapped via those elves that are going to be untapped as well. So, Combo Elves taking game 2. So now Brian knows what Logan's deck does, other than make a lot of creatures. And yeah, now that Brian knows what Logan's deck does, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Logan to try to sneak his way around this. Sneak his way around. Also infinite end of battlefield triggers, that's correct. So with an Essence Warden in play, he would gain infinite life, and with Eternal Witness he can get back whatever he wants. And with a Nettle Sentinel in that, so he can keep untapping, that would actually be infinite mana. And then as a way to... And then Primal Command to put all of Brian's non-creature permanents on top of his library to really win the game on... not win the game on the spot, but basically win the game. Good night, Peach Squeeze Alters. It was fun having you in the chat. It is. Join us next time. We'll be streaming again on Friday at 7:30 Pacific, playing some Legacy action. Or if you're not a fan of that format, we have more Modern action on Saturday at 6. So Brian gonna lead off on a tapped Shambling Rent, and we're gonna respond with a Llanowar Elf. With the Summoner's Pact in for combo, does Logan run Shaman? That's actually a conversation I've had with Logan in the past. He does not run Shaman because he doesn't really like having to produce black in addition to blue and green, or blue, green, and red. I believe he has a copy of Banefire in the deck as a way to, when you have infinite mana, win the game. But I don't believe he actually has Shaman of the Pact. He might have changed it since then, but I don't believe so. So the Fatal Push going to take down the Elf, and we're going to respond with an Essence Ward. Brian going to fetch, going to go for a Blood Crypt, possibly. Going to go for a tap land of some kind, probably. Yep, and it is the Blood Crypt. I will mention that Banefire is not an elf to him. I'm sure he will appreciate the flavor-wise. So Brian's gonna untap. What is he looking at? He's looking at Lightning Helix, a Bitter Blossom, and a Lingering Souls. So the Helix is pretty interesting, but ooh, we're gonna play Monastery Mentor. That is way better than all of the other options right now, because it's not like you want to. You don't really want to Lightning Helix an Essence Warden. That's not really what you want to. That's not the creature you want to go after. You want to go after the Heritage Druid. That is really the engine that could. Or possibly a Dwynen's Elite, if you're feeling spicy. But Monastery Mentor is a great way to turn all of these removal spells into cards that, or win the game cards, I should say. And Logan does have access to a back, but doesn't look like he has a third land. And he is going to play another Dork. Gonna look at that Heritage Druid, think about if he wants to cast it. But he would not have access to, I think, double Swan Song, so he's gonna decide, you know, I'm just going to pass the turn back. Brian is, however, going to look at a copy of Path to Exile, I believe was his draw step. Shaman would be a lot better if Birchler Rangers was legal. That's true, but they're... I think it's perfectly fine that Birchler Rangers is not modern legal. There are a lot of things I'm okay with not being modern legal in Elves. Chief among them being Glimpse of Nature. I think that would not be good for the format. So Brian's going to cast the Lightning Helix on the Essence Warden. That's going to make him a token. It's going to gain Logan a life as well. And it's also going to give Brian a bird, so it is going to actually get Logan some more life. And we're going to see a Path to Exile going to really go. He really wants this Essence Warden gone. So he is going to gain another life. So Brian is making his job a little bit more difficult by playing that Monastery Mentor. But he is going to deal all of that damage, all of that damage back in one swing. So this game is looking a little bit better for Brian. He's going to take the attrition game. He's going to try to take the attrition game anyway. And, ooh, that is an interesting card. So 2 copies of Summoner's Pact. And a copy of Back. Now, Logan is tantalizingly close to going off here. But I'm not sure if he's going to try. I think he can wait. I think he's going to try to wait one more turn, see if he can draw another elf. And yep, Logan is going to pass the turn on Back. Yep, as I'm not sure if you could hear in the background, but Logan is saying that since Brian has played, what was that, 3 removal spells, he feels safe playing the Heritage Druid, especially with that Swan Song backup. And Brian is demonstrating he doesn't actually have the 4th one in hand, at least not one he wants to cast at instant speed. Maybe if he does have one, he's going to wait until his own turn to get those prowess triggers, going to deal some more damage. So we're going to untap, we're going to draw a lightning bolt, so he would actually have, he does actually have the other removal spell, but that is going to in fact get Swan Songed. Elves with Glimpse used to be a modern turn 2 combo. Yeah, that was a glorious time for all of about 2 minutes. So Lingering Soul is going to get cast, going to make a monk token, and we're going to make 2 spirit tokens as well. So this Mardu tokens deck is living up to its name. Going to make a lot of tokens. Get a prowess trigger on all of those creatures, and we are representing a fair bit of damage here. So turn them all sideways. That's going to be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And depending on where this bolt's going, going to go after that Heritage Druid, but we're going to Swan Song that anyway. Going to make another 2/2. And we're going to turn them all sideways, I have to imagine here. Alright, so that prowess trigger going to turn those 2/2s into 3/3s and that 3/3 into a 4/4. So that's going to be 4, 7, 10, 12 damage. Going to put Logan all the way down to 8 if he chooses not to block. Yep, and he is choosing not to. So Logan is going to fall to 8, and he's looking to maybe try to go off this turn as he grabs a die, and drawing Nettle Sentinel is huge here. Yep, so we're going to Beck, and we are going to try to go off. This is looking a lot better than game 1 for Logan. Drawing a second copy of Beck isn't exactly what you want, but it is something you might have to do. Yep, Logan is going to add 3 to his pool, going to cast a Summoner's Pact, it's going to untap that Nettle Sentinel. Going to go after a second Nettle Sentinel. And we're going to play it for the turn. Going to fall to 2 mana. We are going to draw a card as soon as we finish shuffling. Jeez, Logan. Jeez.
What? Sorry.
That's awfully harsh to say. So we're going to draw. And we're going to find, I believe that was a land. So we're going to pact for another creature here. And at this point, we're probably going to go get either Dwynen's Elite or Elvish Visionary. They both draw 2 cards functionally, but this one creates 2 creatures. And yep, we're gonna go get Dwynen's Elite. Also another really good card out of this deck. You can steal a lot of wins this way. Yep, we're gonna play the Dwynen's Elite. Gonna draw 2 cards, make 2 dudes. We are gonna fall to 0 in our pool though, which is a little unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna go to 3 mana. We're gonna play. Actually, we're gonna find Elvish Visionary. So we are gonna untap those 2 Nettle Sentinels, and we're gonna draw 2 cards. We're gonna find another. We're gonna find a 1-drop. So we are netting mana essentially here. We're gonna go down to 1 mana. We're gonna draw another dude. So we're gonna go to 6. We're gonna fall to 5. And we're gonna draw a Visionary. So look at that. We are doing it. This is kind of what Elves wants to do. Gonna draw 2 cards off the Visionary. Or sorry, that wasn't a Visionary. That was a Elvish Mystic. Looks like a promo Visionary from up here. So we're gonna add 3 mana. We're gonna go all the way up to 10. We're gonna cast Primal Command. We're gonna go down to 5 mana.
Back. Combo elves. Logan's combo elves.
Yeah,
What a good deck.
we're casting a Primal Command.
He also goes infinite, as we were saying.
Yes, yep.
Not many decks go infinite.
Yep, this is one of them. So we're gonna see the modes are search for a creature and put that Shambling Vent back on top of Brian's library.
I like that.
Now the question-
Also, Brian has a Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, that's
One of my favorite cards, personally.
so Logan is just figuring out which creature he wants to grab.
What creature he needs? How's the 1/2? Yeah. You got it, Doro. Lost in 3.
So it looks like Logan's gonna settle on Regal Force. Now that's a card you don't see a whole lot of play anymore.
No, but it's really good.
All right.
No, you want to use Wendy's? I kind of want Wendy's now too, just for a milkshake.
Nah, I'm good.
What?
I'm actually good.
Ice cream is God's gift to the world. So basically, Logan can effectively draw his entire deck here. If
He
if
is drawing
doesn't-
a lot of
He doesn't
cards.
have his infinite out yet, doesn't he?
No, he does not. He
No.
does not have a Curio.
Sure.
But it is looking very good for Team Elves.
Yep. Strangely, having the double untap elf dude. And
TJ does look a little different tonight.
yeah.
Looks better.
TJ dyed his hair and shaved off half of it, and then also one Aetherborn.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
I did the math
So there's
there.
the Essence Warden, and then we'll
So we're going to add 3 mana, and we are going to play another Nettle Sentinel. Now that actually is... Now he can cast
effectively
just about anything
anything he draws,
he draws.
and he's gonna draw a lot of cards.
Yep. We might actually see a shortcut here where he's just going to play his cards.
Yeah.
But
I have demonstrated a loop.
But at this point, it's looking very, very good for Logan, and I'm not sure actually how he can break from this point.
No, that's fair. I mean, he's gaining a ton of life. Those monk tokens are pretty big, but they don't get there, unfortunately.
Not actually that big, surprisingly enough.
Well, I mean, double lightning bolt and a path.
Yeah,
Those are 3 3s.
I was gonna say
Or 4
Logan.
4s.
Logan is messing me up with his
Also,
life total.
I think Brian's hand is empty, so I don't even. No, he has 1 card, right?
I think it's a Better Blossom is his last
Sure.
card.
So I mean, we have a bunch of 2/2s
Yeah, yes. Not looking
against
so hot.
against those Nettle Sentinels. Pow pow.
Yeah, it's not looking that good.
I'm
So
moving
we're
on there a
gonna
little
play an Elvish Visionary. We're gonna draw 2
encroached
cards.
on. Is that cool?
What?
Moving the monitor a little bit.
Okay.
Earthquake.
So we're gonna play the 4th Nettle Sentinel.
4 Nettle Sentinels.
Full set.
Full
as,
set.
You know, the thing goes.
Untappy and retappy. Where's our heritage tree? Oh, there it is. I see it.
Well, we have had a heritage druid
I
play
mean,
for
it
a
was
while.
covered. He has
Yeah.
a stack of elves.
True. I have to assume there's a heritage druid in there somewhere.
That's fair.
So we're gonna go all the way up
Untap,
to
make an elf.
I think 14 mana in pool now.
Get
Fall
another.
there. We're gonna draw 2 cards.
Draw 2 cards. No, heritage.
We're gonna find
He is
another one.
He is finding everything except what he needs.
Yeah, he's yet to find a Cloudstone Curio, which is a little rough. Also, a little bit of a difference between... Oh, there's the Curio.
There we
Okay, so that
are.
actually is going to be infinite now. So we're going to demonstrate... Yep.
We will continue on
as,
to demonstrate.
as
a
Logan
loop.
just said in out there, I will demonstrate my loop. So he's going to return the Elvish Visionary, or whatever elf he wants. So he's going to add nigh infinite to his pool.
Infinite mana.
And I'm
Infinite
gonna go.
life.
I'm gonna go to infinite life.
Infinite. Getcha. Now he needs infinite Thopters, right? I feel like that's something that we need.
I don't know about that. I think I like these elves more than I like Thopters.
Yeah, but they're Thopters.
But they're elves.
I got to go infinite again. I won me game 2. Infinite on turn 4. Pretty good.
And I still heard you lost that round.
Oh, I lost. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is a little rough.
No, I wanted to, or lost in 3.
So we are also going to demonstrate this loop here, which is I'm going to cast Primal Command. I'm going to put all of your non-creature spells on top of your deck, or non-creature permanents, I should say.
So all your lands, top of your deck.
Yep, all of your lands top of your deck, and then I'm going to have infinite life.
Continue to the scoop phase.
Yep, and it looks like Brian is going to say, you know what, you got me.
You got me.
And I've still got Swansong available. So,
No problemo.
Logan taking game 2 on the back of some pretty good counter spells. Being able to counter the spells that mattered.
So the cool thing about Paper Pythagoras is that we can just demonstrate a loop. And that's the only reason why I play Infinite.
Yep, you can demonstrate your loop and don't have to worry about clicking through everything.
Yep.
So Combo Elves taking down Mardu Tokens.
Pretty good.
A deck that should actually be kind of favored in the matchup, you'd think, with a lot
Tokens?
of removal spells and discard spells. But
Um,
Logan fought through it pretty well.
yes and no. I think just because Logan can win out of nowhere, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, a Beck and 2 creatures refills his hand.
It is a lot harder for Logan to refill his hand than the Legacy version, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Obviously.
I think I do see where you're coming from.
Just kind of like the only reason I won game 2 is because I went Infinite. Like, I was not gonna win through the amount of hate that he had, but we got there.
All right, well, we will see you guys back up in the booth. Maeve's going to try
I'm
to...
gonna find.
It's about 10 minutes left. We might have
Maybe.
one. Might have a game left.
Yeah.
But anyway... All right, welcome back to the news desk. Actually, not the news desk. That is Wizard's turn. This is the booth. Yeah, right? Yeah. Anyway, my name is Coleman. We're coming at you from Geek Fortress. It's a store up in Snohomish, Washington, that corner of the U.S., the Pacific Northwest, as a matter of fact. Yep, loop, there it is. That is very, very, it's very true. But anyway, we're playing some modern action tonight. We're in round 2 of 4. We just saw some combo elves, some beck and call elves, some Cloudstone Curio elves. Take down Mardu Tokens, the young Pyromancer Monastery Mentor deck. Playing some Thoughtseizes, I assume. We saw an Inquisition, saw some Bolts, saw some Fatal Pushes. I have to assume Brian's deck is slightly favored. Maybe not as much as I initially thought, but just the access to...
We got a game 3. On the Knot Wall,
Okay.
we have green, white hate bears.
Okay, played by?
Oh, Kevin.
Okay.
And on the wall, we have our Living End player.
Other way around.
Yeah, on the Knot Wall is hate bears. Did I not say that?
No, Anthony's
I'm on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, you're oh. I asked them the other way around. I had expectations. Oh well. I'm over it.
All right. This is
This is a game. This is
gonna be
matchup.
interesting.
Game 3. We got Living End versus Aethervile.deck.
Also, this is another creature deck.
Yeah.
So that's something we're living in traditionally is not quite shines, but is a little bit better.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna head down there. We will
We'll head
see
down there.
you on the battlefield.
Alright, you wanna race? Let's race.
All right, you ready?
1, 2, 3, go!
Whew, man.
Alrighty then.
I think it was a tie.
That was a tie.
I
It
think
was
so.
a solid tie.
Yeah, I think so, man. That was rough.
It was a good game.
Yeah,
Good
I
race.
am way out of breath. Like I'm so out of shape.
So out of breath.
Yeah. All right,
Time
so I'm not sure who's on the play here, but Anthony does have access to that Anger of the Gods. Now, that card is going to be very, very good.
Strangely good.
Yeah, it's very good against the creature decks, especially when it exiles those creatures, so they aren't going to come back off of the Living End.
Yeah.
Anthony with that Blooming Marsh untapped.
Ooh, we're gonna $5 as we cycle.
Mm.
My money, the good money's on the cycling.
No bet there.
What? Oh, he didn't.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna be leaning pretty heavily on that anger, I think.
Sure.
And no, that card is very good.
But we're gonna have Athalia right now. Like, obviously.
I think we're actually gonna have a scavenging ooze.
You think? I mean, there's
Yeah.
one in his hand, so that
Nice.
makes sense. And there is no Thalia.
True, there's not a Thalia.
Also
in play.
relevant.
So we
Well, live those cards.
now, depending on what Anthony does, you may see the anger here. You might have him actually try to wait a turn to get a little bit more value.
Sure. I would much prefer, like, we're in a rush, right? So
Yeah,
Why,
like-
why are we angering?
Yeah, there's no real reason to do this quite yet.
Yep.
What's up, Elemental Whisperer?
Hey, Elemental.
Not really whispering right now,
No.
but, you know, doing wisp things.
You know what? That's a 1/1 for 0.
A flicker wisp, perhaps?
Or a flicker wisp. Follow your dreams.
So it looks like Kevin actually does have a backup scavenging ooze in his hand.
I believe it.
So normally that would be a very, very
Do we have a
cool
collective
option.
brutality in this deck?
In which deck?
In Living End.
We do not.
How do you feel about it?
Because that would be a card you would hit when you cycle.
Sure.
So,
But you get to ditch a couple creatures.
but you hit it when you cycle. And hitting
Yeah,
it...
that feels bad.
So this anger is going to go after that scavenging ooze. Going to cycle a street wraith here. And we're going to find a violent outburst. So we might be casting Living End as early as next turn.
Oh, I didn't see the Exile of the Spirit, Simeon Spirit Guide. I was like, why? How? Okay, sure.
Yeah, and we are just going to pitch
I
that Spirit Guide.
do enjoy leaving up the mana, though.
Yeah, possibly have access to another cycler.
Sure.
Kevin looks like he's going to play a Ghost Quarter, perhaps?
A good choice. I think he would much prefer to have... Oh, he's gonna do it. Here we go.
Oh, and
Arbiter. Arbiter. Bam!
Okay.
Arbiter. And then
here.
he's gonna Ghost Quarter your red source.
Well, crucially enough, Anthony can go search for another red source with
That's
this.
fair. Because we can't. Oh, no, I totally agree.
So, yep, he's going to crack this fetch. Probably going to go for another red source.
Yeah. In response,
Probably another Blood Crypt.
then we get a green source at that point, don't we?
Actually, we might... I think he actually does have a Stomping Ground as well.
Sure. And
But-
yeah, that would make the most sense, I feel.
But he does actually... And it looks like Anthony boarded in a copy of
Yep, there we go.
Blood Moon. At least one copy of Blood Moon.
Also okay with that.
And it looks like he does actually have the basic forest.
Sure. So he doesn't even care about his green source.
No,
So
not
he's
at
just
all.
gonna get another. He's just gonna get another Blood Crypt
Yep. And maybe get Kevin to try to do this now.
or a swamp.
Oh, sure. Or basic swamp.
Follow your dreams.
I think he wanted to go get a red source, though.
I don't entirely disagree because casting a top decked Anger of the Gods seems okay.
Well, also, he has Violent Outburst in hand, and if Kevin goes after that red source, he can't actually cast it.
Sure.
And it looks like he's
Yeah,
going to go after the
that's- I
green
mean,
source.
yeah.
So that is going to come back to bite Kevin a little bit.
Sure.
And we're going to draw a Verdant Catacomb, so that's
So much for that right
Yeah,
source.
exactly.
Awkward.
Well,
What? Okay. I mean, we only have one creature in the grave anyway, so it's not like
Yeah,
it's not like it's a
true.
huge deal. You know what I mean?
and we are going to cycle Desert Ceradon. I'm going to
No, we have
find...
to.
Gonna find a land.
That's about right. Yeah.
Yep,
That's my luck anyway.
Yep. You always find land when you want to find creatures.
So do we find a Thalia?
Scavenging.
So
is
Thalia
here.
makes you have to pay one for the
One more for each.
for even your Cascade spell. So that's
Yep.
really unfortunate.
No, we're just gonna play that other copy of Scavenging Ooze.
Mm-hmm.
Going to attack. And Anthony is not gonna block. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, we couldn't anyway. Right?
you know what? You know what, Maeve?
You know what? That Thopter on the field, wholly relevant right now.
And it looks like Anthony did draw a copy of the Living End,
Yes.
as the deck is wont to do. You always draw at least one.
Oh yeah, no, that's how that works.
So we're
how-
gonna cast Fulminator Mage. Gonna try to go
Ooh.
after Kevin's.
Oh, make him pay
Mana-base.
mana or life for every single. Oh gosh, seems good.
That would be, in fact, one way to get Kevin's lands to be a little bit more awkward.
What were your thoughts on the putting the red expertise in the deck?
Well, that's it. I actually told Anthony to put it in the deck.
Sure.
So, I'm not exactly... I don't know how I feel about it yet, but
Yeah.
I'll
We'll
find
see when
out.
we get there.
So Kevin
Do the
drew...
preach for insurance.
So Kevin boarded in Worship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I can see why. But we have like ingot chewers, don't we?
Ingot Chewer doesn't hit.
Oh yeah, it's
enchantments.
artifacts only, isn't it?
I was thinking Beast with it.
Also, good card.
Ooh, so
Again, we have-
another Ghost
We have
Quarter
a fetch
here.
though, right? Like,
Well, we have to pay 2 for it, but
oh right, you're right. Yeah. Feels
that
good.
is still fine though. Like, and now Kevin.
But we have like a million lands in hand too. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
Just draw another one.
classic. Drawing
Actually,
more.
what's gonna happen is we're gonna draw every single one of our lands. We have 2 creatures in our grave, and the rest are lands. No, they're eat. Did he eat some of them?
He
yeah,
ate
he did.
one.
He ate one. Yeah, sure. You know what's really good is using your canopy, Horizon Canopy,
Yep.
to pay life and eat a creature and gain a life.
Yep. So you end up not doing anything. So an attack by the Fulminator Mage. Gonna
Yeah,
block
we'll get there.
with
and
Scavenging Ooze.
Do we? Sure.
And looks like we're casting Violent Outburst now. Gonna
Do we
Cascade.
hold priority and?
Well, you don't have to. Tell him you have to reveal it from the top.
You have to reveal it from the top.
Anthony.
Do you know
you have-
how?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's effectively what he's doing.
I know, but it actually
But
does.
yeah, no,
matter.
it's relevant. I agree.
See, because right there. Anyway, so
Why-
we're gonna cast Living End,
So we cast it whole priority sack.
and we are gonna hopefully sack the.
Cast it whole
Fulminator
priority.
Mage.
No, oh, by Fulminator.
Huh? So
that would have been so good.
yeah, and make sure you meant. Okay, don't worry about
Bottom of the library.
it. Yep.
Is that
All
what he
right.
did? Did he do that?
Yep. Put it on the bottom of his library.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
That's what we like to do. It's an FNM basically. Like
Yeah, this is a.
we're not super strict. It happens. He's new to the deck too, isn't he?
He is very new to the deck.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
So we're gonna take
darn,
2,
right? Like,
and we are going to play a Courser of Crufix,
yeah, I like that.
and we're gonna reveal Aether Vial.
There's the
So
Ember Vial. A couple turns too late.
Yep.
And there's all of our Horizon
there is a
Canopies.
3rd Horizon Canopy.
I am okay with that.
All right.
Darn.
So now we're gonna fetch. Now that there's no Arbiter to have to pay 2 life,
Yep.
or pay 2 mana, not 2 life.
Yes.
All right. So we're
Yeah.
gonna go find a Blood Crypt.
Putting and especially putting that killing that past land that he has that
Yeah.
Kevin has would have been huge.
Yep. Well, we'd
Because-
have. I was gonna say. Well, Kevin would be stuck on 2 lands right now.
Well, I mean, 3 lands.
Well, no,
you-
because the
you-
Fulminator comes back and you can actually.
Oh
kill,
right, yeah. And
Kill
then you
another
know,
land.
And then everything he plays takes life. Like that's just such a bad position for him.
So gifts ungiven, I would I'd be just I would be a little respectful about the players. They do make a choice to come on here. We don't
Yeah.
force anyone to come up. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind, please. Thank you.
We're pretty laid back here. He's new.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. It's not like it's gonna make or break our gameplay here.
Yeah. So a cycle of Monstrous Carabid, and he might be falling into the classic mistake of, well, all of these have cycling, so
Ooh, there's the macabre.
yeah, Fairy Macabre's gonna make his future living ends even better.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, he might be falling into
There's
the
a living hand in our hand. Oh, we knew that though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he might be falling into the mistake of well, these have cycling, so maybe I should just pay the cycling cost.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a path.
Path to Exile on top of his library.
It's not bad. What's in our hand? We have an Aether Vial.
We have the Worship,
on top.
and
Worship.
I believe this is turn 1.
Is that a voice of research?
Yeah, I believe that is Voice Resurgence.
Sure, taken 3. This feels terrible, frankly.
Yeah, gonna fall down to 12 and cast a Worship.
There's the worship.
All right, so Anthony's gonna fetch. He's gonna go find a land.
we're pretty sure, Pythagoras, that it's actually impossible to not draw living end.
It feels like it isn't.
I mean, you have 3 of them, so that's 1 in
Yeah.
every 20 cards. You're drawing, let's just, for sake of numbers, 5 cards.
Yeah, let's
like,
just-
5 extra cards.
Yeah, like,
You're seeing, that's turn 5 if we're playing God Hand. That's 10 cards we're seeing.
Yeah,
On top of the 7 opening, that's 17 more. Of course we're going to see at least 1.
yeah, that's very, 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 very rough numbers, and obviously,
I mean, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
not Frank
kinda
Karsten.
Just off the top of my head, like
yeah, obviously, I'm not Frank Karsten,
yeah.
so I don't know the odds, but the odds are actually pretty high that,
Hardcast.
Yep.
Our horror of the
Broken
Broken
Lands.
Lands.
So yeah,
What a
actually,
horror.
this is the backup
horror.
plan. You just start casting your spells.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Oh, yeah.
reveal.
We'll talk with Anthony and like give him a little rundown of specifics, but for the most part, like it's just FNM. We're not too worried about it.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Yep. And there's
So
our
Voice of Resurgence gonna come down.
Put us to 9.
I'm gonna fall to 8.
Where's the fling, by the way?
the fling?
Yeah, you have a fling in this deck.
I can't play fling.
I mean, it's legal in And
Again,
modern?
you cascade into it.
okay, but it's legal in modern, and it's pretty cool when you fling a horror of the Broken Lands.
It is cool.
I just like cool stuff.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It is definitely a cool thing. I just prefer attacking
Yeah.
and then cycling everything.
Yep.
So an attack by this Courser of Kruphix is going to put Anthony down to 8.
Mhm.
And this game is looking like it's going to end up being a draw,
Which
unfortunately.
happens from time to time. Yeah, when you cascade into fling on an empty board, so good.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly what I want.
That's what I live for.
So,
Non-bows all
Anthony
day.
drew a Beast with him.
I think we're cool with that, right? Like,
That would be a lot better if this wasn't turn 4. But
that's fair. That's fair.
You can, in fact, play Dead and Gone in Living End.
Mm-hmm.
You'd watch a show where I teach people to play as fast as me. I don't think you'd actually want to see that.
It would be kind of hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Pow pow, because he's playing fast.
So Beast Within going to take out that Courser of Kruphix. That's no longer revealed.
Ah, got him. Now
And
I-
again, you don't really want to do that on Kevin's turn on his upkeep because then he gets a voice token.
Yep.
Now, granted, it's not wholly important
It's not
here.
relevant here. Like, we can. This is turn 5.
This is in fact turn 5, so we're going to crack a fetch. We're going to
Crack a
or
fetch.
crack a
Horizon
canopy. Crack a canopy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to fall to 5.
Yeah, it's the best non-bow in modern, actually. Pythagoras.
And we're going to play some creatures, and that is going to be the end of it.
GG.
So, ended up as a draw. It's a,
Yeah.
You know, the board state's going to get kind of complicated.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, that is a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. The deck, Living End is a very interesting deck, and I'm glad we got to see it on camera.
Twice.
Yep, twice, actually. One a little bit better of a show than the other.
Sure.
But,
With that,
yeah, we will see you back up.
I'm gonna go lose.
Oh, okay.
See you guys in about half an hour.
Glad you have such confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll see you back up in the booth for round 3. Alright, welcome back to the booth. We're going to head up into round 3. We saw Green White Hate Bears and Living End. Actually, that was a draw. They did not finish in time. We got to turn 5 of turns. And yeah, that was it was not what I expected. I expected Living End to end up taking that down. But we've got round 3 coming up for you guys. Do we have Swans tonight? That's a very good question. Hi. We do not actually have Swans tonight. So that is a little unfortunate, I know, but we can only work with what we got. I think I saw... Well, we had Nightfall earlier. We got Living End, obviously. We have Blue-Black Tezzerator. We got...
I'm gonna be on the wall,
Okay.
and then he'll be right over to tell you what he's playing.
Okay. So, actually, Maeve is going to go from the booth to the table. Going to be playing some artifacts. And I don't know what her opponent's going to be playing, but I assume it's going to be just as sweet. What is new? Just turned in? Well, you joined in at just the right time because we're heading into round numero tres. I've had someone boarding Grafdigger's Cage against Living End. Yep, that's ooh, that is not. Yeah, that's the pro tip of the day. Don't board in Living End against or don't board in Living End. Don't board in Grafdigger's Cage against Living End. It won't actually do anything because they come to play from exile, not the graveyard. The last time I played this deck on Tuesday, actually yesterday, because yesterday was Tuesday. And
Okay. Do you know who's playing?
I know Maeve is playing. I don't know.
The other. What's your name? He's playing Black Red Dragon.
I don't know his name though.
Okay, I'll get it real quick.
Okay. Well, this is not something I thought we would see today.
Oh, okay. He's playing against Thomas.
Oh, Thomas. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to call the deck, but that's what I'm calling it.
It's Thoughtseizes, Bolts, Inquisitions, a bunch of hand disruption, red removal, and uses Demigod of Revenge to win the
Okay.
game.
Okay. So, this is gonna be something. We're gonna see some. Yeah, we're gonna see some Demigod of Revenges, hopefully. Wow. Okay, so I have no idea who's gonna win this, but I'm hoping it's the Demigod deck because that deck is equally as sweet as Tezzerator. But yeah, we'll see you guys down. I'm gonna see you guys down on the table. That's gonna be something. Like wow. Yeah. And they're looking to start right now. Maeve is gonna mulligan on her way down. I'm not sure how many mulligans she's on, but it is gonna be at least one. So, Demigod of Revenge. This card I have not seen since it was legal in Standard. It's a 5/4 for triple. No, actually, sorry. For 5 black-red hybrid. When you cast it, you return all cards named Demigod of Revenge from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it's a 5/4 with flying and haste. Yeah, the last time I saw this card, it was in Standard. And its original printing was in Shadowmoor, so you can imagine how old that is. So Maeve looks like won the die roll, going to lead on a Watery Grave. Thomas is going to look at his hand, has a Delta, and going to probably fall all the way down to 17. Go get a Blood Crypt. Yep, Blood Crypt incoming. And probably a Disruption spell. Yep, and we're going to look at Maeve's hand. It's going to be Dimir Signet, Victim of Night, a Chalice, and 2 lands. And yep, we're going to take out that Chalice of the Void. Thomas apparently likes casting 1-drops. Who knew? Does she have any Thops in there? It's funny you mention that, because she actually just drew a copy of Thopter Foundry. Thomas is gonna draw, and he's gonna find I actually can't quite tell because of the angle of the camera and the way he's drawing his cards. But that is gonna definitely be a Bloodstained Mire and a Faithless Looting, perhaps? Yep, Looting on the way. Gonna draw 1, 2. Gonna find a Push and a Dragon Skull Summit. What are we gonna pitch? We're going to pitch 1 copy of Demigod, I can tell you that much right now. We're going to pitch the second Looting and a copy of Demigod Revenge. Well, that is not a sentence I thought I was going to have to say today, but here we are. So Maeve is going to play... Yep, there is a Thopter Foundry. Is this a War of Invention deck? I believe so. I believe she's playing a couple of whirs. And is that a Bedlam Reveler? So yep, Victim of Night still able to be cast. Demigod is a lot. Demigod of Revenge, I believe, is a spirit avatar, not. Let me just check that really quickly. Yep, spirit avatar. So can be hit by Victim of Night. So we're gonna draw. We're gonna find Damnation. Now normally that card would be pretty good. I don't think it's gonna be as solid against this blue-black Tesserator deck. This is yeah, Thomas is just going to pass the turn. Maeve is going to draw a land. Play an Ensnaring Bridge. Now, Bridge is going to end up being... yeah, Kate? Sorry, Bridge is going to end up being very good against these demigods. Maeve's not going to have a whole lot of cards in hand. So, acting as kind of a lockdown. Can't cast Thopter, Foundry of Darksteel Citadel. You can if you filter it into a Dimir Signet. So use that colorless to turn it into blue and black. So Thomas is going to play a Dragonskull Summit and looks to... that is not the right card to cast. We're going to cast an Inquisition, going to get rid of that Victim of Night, and maybe look to flashback that Faithless Looting at some point. But it's definitely not right now. Does he play K-Command? He probably does. At least I have to assume there's a K-Command coming. Blood Moon, though. Blood Moon is quite the card for Thomas to have. He's going to play it, and if it resolves... I was going to say, does it resolve? That is the question. Looks like it does. Choosing not to crack the fetch land there, so he wants... He might not be playing that many swamps. So Maeve going to keep that in hand. Yep, immediately draws Bloodghast. That is, it's a classic. Yep, we're going to cast Demigod Revenge. We're going to get back another Demigod. They can't attack, though, which is not exactly, which is super annoying. But we have a copy of Whir, and we drew Collective Brutality. Now, Brutality is very good at getting under a bridge, or making it so your opponents can't get locked on, can't attack through a bridge, I should say. So the Brutality is going to end up taking one of either this Fatal Push, the Damnation, and it looks like we're going to take the Damnation. Thomas is going to draw. He's going to find a mountain. White Border, Blood Moon versus White Border and Ensnaring Bridge. Well, I do love me some White Borders, so this makes me a lot happier. And Maeve is going to draw. She's going to find a land of some kind. It looks to be I don't know, it might not be a land. It might be some other spell that she just doesn't want to cast right now. I believe she does have a copy of Whir of Invention that is being locked out by this Blood Moon. Yeah, we're going to cast this Faithless Looting. We're going to draw 2 and ditch 2. I would have to imagine one of them is going to end up being that Bloodghast. Although we did draw another basic Swamp. So, yep, looks like we are going to pitch that Bloodghast. Or might create as White Border. No, because I don't have any White Border Cradles. I would if I could. I don't like intentionally white bordering things. That's a hassle. So Maeve looks like she cycled that the blue-black land, and we're gonna see there comes the Tezzeret, and this is actually a perfect board state for Tezzeret. I do not know what you're talking about. This is totally the right time. So we're gonna find another copy of Bridge. That is the only hit, but it is gonna be good enough. Yeah, we're gonna pass the turn with 2 copies of Ensnaring Bridge. Now that first one, that was pretty good. The second one might actually just be good enough. Oof. What are those foily things on Thomas's side? That is a promo for Demigod of Revenge. Now this card, he discarded the first one to a looting, cast the second one, and got back the first one. Yep, this Tezzeret gonna keep ticking up. We're gonna find a Spellskite. Now that, yep, we're gonna find more and more ways to protect this Ensnaring Bridge, but that is gonna be a target for Fatal Push. So Colligan's command is still not horrible here. However, it looks like we're just gonna draw more lands. Probably gonna flash back this looting at some point. Yep, it's unfortunate he's not going to be able to attack right now. I'm going to find a Mox Opal. Now that is a card you can cast. And we are going to actually be able to Whir of Invention here. Yep, going to turn that into blue-black and use those other 2 blue. So we are going to cast a Whir of Invention. The only question is, what is X going to end up being? Maybe going to improvise some things here. And yep, we're going to tap those 2 bridges and the Thopter Foundry. Going to Whir for... what is that? What, for 4? Now the question, it looks like she is going to end up searching for, yep, Sword of the Meek. Just like she went for an over Whir. Don't really need to pay, 4 for it, but just going to make 5 dudes, gain 5 life, and go for an ultimate of Tezzeret. Yeah, and that is going to be the game. So, finding that Mox Opal off the top was really what Maeve needed, but that game was really decided when she found that Ensnaring Bridge. Now, Bridge is a very, very good card to have. And as you saw there, it does in fact win games. So Maeve taking game 1 of possibly 3, but let's find out if it goes that long. Now, as for the sideboard, I have literally no idea what's in either player's sideboards. Both of these archetypes, anything could be there. I have to imagine Shattering Spree is somewhere in this deck. If you're gonna do it, you may as well overdo it. That's not an incorrect thing to say. Pithing Needle looks like Grafdigger's Cage is instantly coming in from Maeve, which makes sense. It will stop those demigods from coming back. Looks like she's just figuring out if she wants Needle or not. Now, I didn't see anything that you'd want in Needle. So, that feels like maybe not what you want. Spreading Seas is actually a possibility. It looks like Thomas's mana base was a little all over the place, and it looks like we are going to board in another copy of Collective Defiance. Or no, not Defiance, Brutality. Collective Defiance is a vastly different card. Is that a Squelch? That was some copies of Spreading Seas, I believe, not Squelch. Yep, gonna instantly board out Executioner's Capsule. It does not in fact kill demigods or any creatures from Thomas's deck that you saw. And it looks like she also boarded in a copy of Lodestone Golem. Ooh, that's a very interesting card for Thomas to have, a copy of Rakdos Charm. Now that is actually a really good answer to Thopter Foundry, if you can... it's actually not a very good answer, but it's an answer to Thopter Foundry, because those creatures will in fact deal that damage back to Maeve, which is pretty hilarious sometimes. Now they do gain a life on the front end, so it's not going to be win the game, but it is going to reset them back to their original life total. So that is actually not nothing. Or just going to exile a graveyard with Sword of the Meek in it. For the sake of deck diversity, High Tide is now legal in Modern. I don't know if that would actually do anything, honestly. Alright, so Thomas is probably going to be on the play here. That's correct. Rakdos Charm's ability to kill an artifact also is probably the reason why that's actually coming in post board, and the other modes are just gravy. Now Maeve gonna keep her opening 7. It looks like she does have KCI plus Thopter and Sword in hand, but only 1 land. Oh, and a Spellskite for protection. That would make sense. And looks like she is going to actually mulligan now that as she considers her hand more. Thomas, however, is going to keep his opening 7, so that's gotta be good for for fans of Demigod Revenge, I should say. High Tide does not actually make turns better because it's only there for 1 turn, and then that will help you 1 turn, won't help you the next. Yep, Rakdos Charm is still a pretty neat card. It's a little bit underplayed. Yeah, it's a little underplayed for what it does. But mostly, I think because Twin is gone, the reason for the multi modes, I should say, multimodal cards are always should always be considered more than they are right now. So Maeve's gonna scry. She's gonna keep it on top. It does have 2 lands and a Pentad Prism, so we're gonna draw, find a Glintnest Crane, and pass it back. Gonna fetch for a Smoldering Marsh on the end step. And it looks like Maeve's gonna just do it right now while her opponent's shuffling, just gonna shortcut a little bit. The dream for blue players is I actually don't know what card I would want as a blue player. Actually, no, the card I would want is Baleful Strix. That's the card I really want. Everything else, I would be okay with not having, honestly. Brainstorm, I don't think is ever gonna actually hit Modern. Same thing with Force. I don't think either one is ever gonna hit Modern. Obviously Recall, but Recall. No, I'd be actually a lot happier. Are they playing Frontier? It kind of feels like that, doesn't it? But nope, none of the. An Inquisition. An Inquisition going to take out the Pentad Prism, going to restrict Maeve's mana a little bit, especially with that Tezzeret in hand. And it looks like she's going to respond with a Glintnest Crane, which is probably going to eat a Lightning Bolt at some point. Yep, Maeve's going to go find a Talisman of Dominance. And it looks like Thomas is going to elect not to Lightning Bolt that. Going to draw a Blood Moon off the top, however. Now, crucially, does not have a third land, I should say. If we're talking about cantrips, it's going to be Preordain before it is ever Ponder, I think. Preordain is, Ponder's a lot more degenerate of a card, I would say. Which is a very weird sentence to say when you're talking about cantrips. Yep, we're going to play Dimir Signet as opposed to Talisman of Dominance, mostly because it doesn't actually hurt your mana base a little bit too much. So, Blood Moon going to hit the battlefield now. Maeve's mana base is actually not as bad as it could be under the circumstances. Mom always said, dream degenerate. That is what Mom said. I think she said that while making some of her famous spaghetti. So the Talisman going to come down off those 2 essentially colorless lands in Maeve's deck. Going to play a Spellskite and pass it up. Thomas is going to draw a really sweet mountain. And we're going to... we have a Vandal Blast. Now that card's very interesting. Vandal Blast. Ooh. Only 2 lands away from a Vandal Blast. Now that card... That's also a card I haven't seen in Modern in quite a while. But here comes Kolaghan's Command. Gonna actually probably try to blow up the artifact. Looks to be blow up Spellskite and have Maeve discard a card. She's going to discard a copy of Tezzeret the Seeker, 5-mana Tezzeret. Not as... She does have the 4-mana Tezzeret, and that's probably what's going to come into play next turn. Looks like Thomas is going to fall down to 17. Probably try to... Looks like we're going to see an attack first. It's going to be a block. And going to bolt it anyway. So maybe it was the check. Do you want to block? Oh, you do want to block? Oh, okay. Well, bolt it. So vomit on his sweater already. That is correct. There is a lot of vomit on this sweater. So a Tezzeret going to uptick, going to go up to 4, and we are going to find a Mox Opal as the last card. He's probably going to play that Mox Opal, or if we're just going to leave it in hand. Looks like Maeve's opting to leave it in hand. Thomas is going to untap. He's going to find another mountain. I believe he has a demigod. Blood Moon. Yep, there's a Blood Moon. All right. So, just wanted to make sure about that before they got too far. Yep, so Demigod of Revenge incoming right now. So the Tezzeret is going to take 5, and Maeve's going to end up taking 2. Ooh, that is the power of Demigod of Revenge right there. I believe he didn't see anything. So, a Thopter Foundry coming into the battlefield for Maeve. I've seen enough Blood Moons to try to get myself. Yeah, I've seen enough Blood Moons over the years. So what are we gonna? We're overloading a Vandal Blast. Wow. So Vandal Blast going to. First, we're gonna Victim of Night the Demigod. And Maeve should actually take a point of life for that, because that is a talisman. So. Hey Maeve, did you take a point off the talisman?
I gave it back when I attacked the...
Okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure of that. So we got an attack by that Bloodghast. Gonna put Maeve down to 15. Tom's gonna draw Damnation. Now that would be not horrible against other decks, but right now it's not looking super hot. Gonna attack with a Bloodghast, and this is the game Maeve is looking to play now. I'm gonna find that sword about probably 2 turns late. Now Thomas is gonna find a Bedlam Reveler. That is not a sentence I thought I would have to say today, but then again, I also didn't expect to have to deal with a Demigod of Revenge attacking. Yep, just figuring out how much the Reveler is going to cost. Looks to end up being 5. Well now. Bedlam Reveler. It's going to revel in all of the Bedlam. Going to find another Colligan's Command, a Liliana, and another land. So this is looking very good. Alright, so we do have an Urborg from Maeve. Now all of those... Pay some respects to the gods of sleep. Well, I will wish you luck in that... I will wish you luck in that regard. So we're going to draw a Lightning Bolt. How does this deck, has Black-Red do on average? I have no idea. This is the first time I'm saying it. So I have to imagine it's going to win a lot of games it shouldn't, and it's going to lose a lot of games it shouldn't. So just because of so looks. Sorry, we're gonna see a Culligan's command to kill an artifact and get back Demigod. But anyway, like I was saying, it's probably gonna win a lot more games because of the discard spells and a bunch of removal, and it'll probably lose a lot of games it was ahead in because of the same thing. You're gonna draw You're gonna draw disruption when you shouldn't, and yeah, you're gonna draw a lot of disruption when you shouldn't. So we've got that. We got an attack here for 6. Gonna put Maeve all the way down to 5. And looks like actually we're gonna bolt before damage. So we're gonna put. Actually, we're gonna have her fall down to 1. The green combo player doesn't like the black-red control deck. Well, that is a draw from Maeve. Bridge off the top. Well now. That is quite the draw. Huh. So I guess we're just gonna play Liliana of the Veil, and yeah, this is what we're doing. Gonna uptick, we're gonna pitch a Smoldering Marsh, and we're just gonna have to pass. Yeah, Maeve's gonna find a copy of Collective Brutality. Now, crucially, that doesn't actually do anything. That Urborg is still a mountain. Alright, so we're gonna find a copy of Faithless Looting. Maybe look to cast that before doing anything else. And yeah, it's probable that Thomas is looking to ultimate the Liliana to ice the game up. Maybe force her to choose between the bridge and sack all your lands. Or we're just gonna find Lightning Bolt. That's a pretty good way to do it too. Just bolt you. That's a pretty good way of winning the game. Obviously H. Rollins knows what's up. That is the foolproof way. I believe that is a trademark sentence to beat an Ensnaring Bridge. So, Black-Red Control taking game 2 on the back of a very, very good Vandal Blast. And also a Blood Moon and a Vandal Blast. Both doing some very good work in that game. So, Maeve might be going to a different sideboard plan post-board now that she knows about the Blood Moons, although I'm not sure what she can do about that. And Thomas probably isn't going to change a whole lot. I think his deck is right where he wants it to be. Bunch of disruption for artifacts and a clock. And a clock in the form of the even the Liliana of the Veil would have been very, very good there had the game not ended. Now, not as good as it could be because of the bridge and the Blood Moon, but it's still going to end up being great. So, Maeve is actually going to be on the play for this one, and that is going to impact the board state a lot. That's going to impact the board state a lot. Chalice of the Void is a lot better on turn 2 on the play as opposed to turn 2 on the draw. Now, Grafdigger's Cage on turn 1 is going to be pretty good against against Demigod of Revenge and against Faithless Looting. But we are going to see the Cage on 1, and Thomas, I believe, is going to lead on an Inquisition. Yep, we're going to fetch here. Going to probably go get a basic and an Inquisition of Kozilek. We're going to reveal Maeve's hand of Talisman and Signet, so the mana is not going to be as much of an issue. And a Victim of Night and Collective Brutality. I believe that's the last card other than that Delta. Does he have new 3-mana Liliana? I don't believe so, but I could be wrong. This deck is all over the place, so he could be playing a copy of, I don't know, what's another really weird card? Corlash, I think that's the weirdest one. But he could be playing a copy of that, and I wouldn't know. Thank you to Odin4128. Well, I'm happy to be back here. It's really fun to interact with all of you guys out there. There are 195 people. That is a lot more people than I thought would be here. But you guys are all awesome. If you're new to the stream, please, we love it if you hit that follow button. It's somewhere around here. I think if it's on mobile, you're up there, and I think if you're on desktop, it's down there, somewhere below me, I think. Now, I'm not sure about that. But when you hit that follow button, if you're new, your name pops up in a cool lightning thing. It's a big streak of lightning comes across the table or the screen. It looks pretty cool. So the collective brutality. It's going to get escalated once. It's going to drain Thomas for 2 and make him discard that Vandal Blast. But we are going to see a looting here. Don't really want to discard that. Actually, you could discard that Demigod since you have the Rakdos. Or no, not the Rakdos return. Man, Bull, you got me thinking about Rakdos return, so now that's gonna be Rakdos return in my head now, but it's a Culligan's command. Since you have the Culligan's command, you can blow up that Craft Digger's Cage. Yoshi Master 888. See, I told you. Super sweet lightning coming across the screen for that follow. So welcome to the Fortnites. George Tron 3000. About the only time you're gonna hear me say awesome things about Tron. So finishing up this, the Oaken Shield. Also, welcome to the Fortnites. You are also an awesome person. Just finishing up that looting, we're going to also pitch Kalidas. Robop 2002. It was a pretty good year, 2002. I liked it. Yeah, welcome to the Fortnites. Can I just refollow? I mean, you could. It might not show up for you since you're just refollowing, but you could. Glint Nest Crane gonna find a Cart Clan Ironworks. Gonna probably look to cast that eventually, not at the moment, since of course we don't have a whole lot of lands. And what are we gonna do here? We're gonna looks like maybe try to cast that looting. Can't cast Faithless Looting. Hold up. You can't cast Faithless Looting. There's a cage. Just call. If you guys could call Dylan over to fix it for you guys.
What?
Call Dylan over to fix it. No, just call Dylan over. What's up?
I'm just gonna have him shuffle. And he cast it, but it's shuffled.
Would it be fair to have her take a card
No,
out?
just call Dylan over. That's the best way to do it. What's better to play against for Tron? I prefer to play against neither one, but that's just me. If you promise.
I promise.
Okay.
How do I do this?
You just start talking.
Is that it?
That's it.
I don't talk good.
So this is Nate.
Oh,
Thank
why
you
are
for the phone
why
call.
Are you calling me?
I'm not calling you. You're calling me.
No, you're definitely calling me.
Oh, whatever, Nate. Okay.
No, it's weird. I'm gonna have a missed phone call from Coleman. Wife will be like, "Who's Coleman?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a guy from work."
Yeah, it's just.
I'm not lying.
Yeah,
either,
no,
so.
you're not actually lying. So anyway, so we've got some Demigod of Revenges.
Legit.
And some artifacts.
Black Red Control. What the-
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but it's awesome.
Interesting.
We saw Blood Moon in Game 2.
Really?
And,
From Thomas.
Yep.
What are we talking?
So we're just,
I thought Nate was. Oh man. Nah. I ain't banned no more. I'm off the hook. Double secret probation.
Double secret probation. So secret you can't tell TJ about it.
Oh man. No, I just want to make.
I have resolved it.
Okay, thank you.
Just want to make Animal House references. All night. What am I? Is it? Get it?
All right. I think that's yours. Is that right?
No, it's Blame Nate.
Blame Nate.
Hashtag
right.
Blame Nate. Is Bryce on here right now?
I don't know if
Is
Bryce
Bryce-
is actually here.
Bryce is watching right now?
So, Colgan's command going to take down that Grafdigger's Cage and looks maybe to have Maeve discard a card. Or you might try to get back a creature.
Interesting.
So what actually is your Twitter handle?
What actually is my Twitter
Yeah.
handle? Oh, it's I don't even remember. Hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
Literally.
Yep. So Maeve gonna draw and play a Talisman of Dominance.
Oh, which one is that? That's yeah. Gains the life.
That's the mana rock that pains you.
Oh, it's the pain. That's right. Okay.
The pain mana rock. Oh no, TJ's here. You've been discovered.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh well. Whatever. Hashtag or not hashtag. My Twitter handle. Oh man, now everybody's gonna see all the depressing crap I post. Awesome. It is @NateIsDead.
Yeah, clearly that's the wrong thing. That is clearly the wrong title because you're clearly not dead
No,
unless
I'm
you're a
not.
zombie.
No, so like, it was back when I played WoW, man,
Okay.
and I played a Death Knight, and
Okay.
I literally just I was at the point where I just wanted to play, and I couldn't think of a name, and so I was like, well, it's a Death Knight, so I just put Nate is Dead as my character, my tune name, and I just rolled with it, and it became my Twitter handle,
Oh, okay.
and it became the password on my computer for a little while, and then that got weird. So
So, that Inquisition going to take out the Victim of Night in Maeve's hand. The Victim of Night, of course, actually pretty good against most of Thomas's creatures.
no, what I haven't seen either of these decks yet.
Sure.
So no, Thomas's black red control. What is
Yep.
he? What is he mostly doing?
He's casting Inquisitions and Lightning Bolts,
Okay.
and finishing up with Demigod of Revenge.
Okay, and the Demigod of Revenge is the
The
five black red right?
Yep. When
you
you cast it, you get all the other demigods back.
oh, okay, and it's
Yeah.
not, and it's obviously not. That one's not legendary, so you just
Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's a classic.
That sounds brutal. And then Maeve's deck does what exactly?
That's actually a very that's actually a very
it's
good
Tezzeret,
thing.
so I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
gonna be extraordinarily complicated.
Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas, is really what she's looking to
Okay.
find. Of course, that is you can pull that up for anyone wondering.
Like me.
No problem. Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. Zodiac is here. Well, you're the random viewer of the night. Congratulations. I just hit that save button. That is Tezzeret. It is a planeswalker. It's +1. Gets you some creatures. I think Maeve's actually at 15. But let's call it 12.
Let's call it.
Well, I'm going off the live total, but there's only so much you can do. So, and I think we actually have assembled Thopter Foundry. So look at that. We have a Thopter Foundry in play.
Which one does that do?
It's the second artifact. You get a 1/1 Thopter token, and you gain a life.
Okay.
And you sack the Sword of the Meek. The Sword of the Meek
Then comes back.
with the 1/1.
Okay.
So you actually...
That's cute.
Yep, and actually, she's going infinite
Yeah.
with the Cart Clan Ironworks. So you just sack the token there, because it is an artifact, to add 2 mana.
the cart clan does.
You
what
just
again?
sacrifice an artifact to add 2 colors to your mana pool.
Oh, okay.
So you just sack
Oh,
the
so
token.
you have two
You have
different engines.
infinite mana. You have infinite mana, and now you also have infinite life.
Interesting.
Also, you have infinite 1/1s,
Which I mean, wins.
which is gonna win a majority of the games.
Okay. How do you beat that?
I
mean, besides,
with Thomas's deck, I have no idea.
yeah.
But with other decks, you
mean-
hope she decks out.
I mean, right. I mean, Thoughtseize or interesting.
Yeah, it's
Hercules Recall.
yeah, Hercules Recall would be actually pretty solid. But anyways, so it looks like Blue Black Tezzeret won that in 3. Thomas taking game 2 down with the back of a Blood Moon. That was pretty brutal. All right, so we're going to transition back up to the desk. Prepare your questions for Nate, and hopefully he can answer them without
boy.
getting banned again.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
This is a lot of responsibility right now.
I know it is what it is. But anyway, we're going to see you up there. All right, so here we go. We're back up in the booth. There are no pressure here.
No pressure.
No pressure. There are about 190 people watching. So no pressure. But don't worry, you guys are all awesome. Yeah, so if you're new here, the follow
me.
button. Yeah, like Nate. Nate, I believe, isn't even following right now.
Am I not? How do I do that?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
Coleman, tell me, how do I do this?
So you go into your Twitch account.
Hopefully I have that downloaded.
Okay.
Oh,
So
hey,
there you
there
go.
we go.
Right there.
I still have it
See, look
downloaded.
at that. We got it going.
Okay, and then
So,
what do I do?
so you're logged into your account, right? Look at that. So you just search for Geek Fortress.
Geek Fortress. Oh, look.
Look at that. Look at that.
See, I've searched it before because, I like,
Yeah.
to do
See,
things
look
like
at
this.
that.
This is the only thing I watch on Twitch.
See, look at that. You see that little heart button right there?
Oh, do I just...
You just click that heart button.
That's all I do. And then, oh, what if I forgot my password?
Well, then I can't help you on that one. Then that's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is hit that heart button. Also, we're gonna have some,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have some feedback.
That's gonna be bad. For how likes work.
Yeah. Yep. That is.
What's my password? What's my username? I don't know. I'll figure this out later.
Yeah. But anyway, that's actually how you you follow. You just click the heart button.
Perfect. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Are you being family friendly, Nate? Yes. Yes, I am. TJ. Look at you, brother.
The delay is way too big to have feedback. That's what you might think.
What Pokemon Go team? Team Valor. That's it.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey. Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. It is totally fine.
Is next round up?
I don't think the next round's up actually right now, but we'll be heading into round 4 of 4, and that is the final round.
Ooh, I'm 3-0 right now.
You're 3-0 right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... I did not actually expect that, honestly.
Really?
I did not expect that. Well, it's not fully because of you. It's not fully. Most of it is because I expected to see...
roll right now, man.
I expected to see a lot of hate for what you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, fair, but now in all honesty, though, I haven't played at this shop since what?
Oh,
February,
sure,
right.
that's fair.
And
That's
so, how many other Affinity players are there besides like TJ? I know
yeah,
TJ's one.
there actually isn't a whole lot of affinity now that I think about it. But and then again, I always just pack like 3 affinity cards in my
Yeah.
sideboard because I
And
don't
see,
like
and
losing to
but
affinity.
that's the thing is that everybody should. Oh, ouch! That hurts. Valor starting to like me. Well, you should like me anyway, just because I don't really play Pokemon Go anymore. But if I were to still play Pokemon Go, I'd still be Team Valor. But but no, again, it's the fact that like you should always just pack some Affinity 8.
Oh yeah, it's
Just for the fact that you're gonna run into that random Affinity deck and you're just gonna, oh man, like where's my answer?
oh yeah, obviously.
But like at this point, I'm having not been in for a while and then having to have revamped. The Gear Up or Aether Grid is so good.
Oh yeah,
Being able to work around
Stony
Silence
Silence
is just incredible. And watching
Yeah.
your opponent like Stony Silence, you're like Gear Up or Aether Grid.
Getcha.
And start turning stuff sideways and just start pinging off everything. And
oh yeah, exactly. Oh, I didn't know we were devolving into some Pokemon Go trash talk.
is it because of the hoodie? Really? Come on. Okay.
Oh yeah,
See?
yeah. Obviously, I'm gonna
I don't
bring it
care
in.
if our 90% of our team is hurt right now.
I wish 90% of our team was hurt right now. That would give me a good excuse.
But
man.
see, we're not here to talk Mariners. We're here to talk Magic.
No, if we talk Mariners, I am actually gonna get not family friendly and no one, and
Yeah.
I'd probably get banned. I mean, if TJ is complaining about you not wearing a tie, I have a tie in my car. The hoodie tie combo is
Oh, really?
is a
Legit?
combo.
Really?
No, it's not.
I was listening to that tacky, man.
Have you met me?
Yes, and every time I talk to you, we're both wearing FedEx uniforms.
That's true. That's
So-
true. That is very, very true.
But
It's like you walked up to the table with a pod and said, "Do you want to play standard?" I mean, to be fair, every standard card is going to be legal and limited.
And see, okay. Now that I'm reading through this, yeah, not everyone can pull off a tie like TJ can.
Yeah, I know I can't. No, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay.
See, like
saying
I was a
can't
band
pull
kid for
off
long enough, and we wore tie, like suits and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, but like when you're in the full, it also helps if you have like a fitted suit.
Yeah.
Like you really have to have something like at least slightly tailored to your body
Oh
shape.
yeah, like
You know
I think,
what I mean?
I only have one suit jacket and it's like 10 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not even
like,
gonna try to.
Don't
wear
even
that.
wear it, dude. Just
No.
Goodwill it and get it out of your
Nah.
closet. Make room for a T-shirt.
That's true. It'd probably be better as a T-shirt, honestly, with how I dress.
Right.
Is the finals next? That's correct. We are gonna have the finals, and apparently Nate's gonna be in them.
Ooh.
So we're gonna see some affinity tonight. But anyway, so since you're back here, you get to answer the 5 questions of doom,
Okay.
as I'm calling them right now, that I'm just making up on the spot. So,
You have never heard the questions my wife asks me. You ain't got nothing that I haven't.
I
already.
haven't. So when did you start playing Magic?
When did I start playing Magic? That is a good question. When did the original Mirrodin block come out?
2005.
Okay, because I
I
played.
wanna say.
I started tail end of Scourge, and played up Mirrodin. Wasn't Kamigawa right after Mirrodin?
Yes, coming.
And I played about halfway through Kamigawa,
Okay.
and then everybody that I was playing with, all the kids in my neighborhood. So the window. She said it was 2000 what?
2005ish.
2005. So I was roughly 14.
Yeah.
And so everybody I knew just stopped playing Magic.
Oh, yeah,
Stopped.
yeah.
Oh man, we're into this game now.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
Play that game.
That happened to me too.
This is dumb. I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh. No. Played that, been there, done that. No sir.
Yeah.
And I'm totally offending anybody that plays Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not offending you. But to each their own, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, some people like to pick other teams besides Valor on Pokemon Go, so whatever. And so, next question. And
Okay.
no, I didn't finish that question.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna say.
getting ahead of myself. And so then,
Hi.
oh hey,
Alright.
So,
who's playing? Oh, rounds are up.
yeah, rounds are up.
Oh,
Oh, well, then in case the 5 questions of doom, we'll have to wait.
yeah, they will.
We have Dredge on the wall versus Glittering Wish on the nut wall.
Okay. I was under the impression we'd be watching the finals, but this also works.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Logan. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh. Well, are you playing?
Yeah.
You gotta go then.
Oh.
I dropped.
Oh,
you dropped?
okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay, in that case.
finish this
I
later.
don't
Yeah.
know that I could finish the round, so I figured.
All right.
Do
Well,
you want them on the stream then?
yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
You want finals or Dredge Glittering Wish? Glittering Zoo. I like Glittering Zoo better.
I do too. But can you try to see if the finals go to a later game? Can you make sure to put them on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
yeah.
All right. So I do not know the Dredge player's name, unfortunately.
Jordan, I believe. Let me check. Okay, Jordan. Jordan's on Dredge and Mason's on Glittering Wish Zoo.
Okay.
No, I can get the finals though. Like, is that what we should be watching?
I'm gonna leave that actually up to the chat. Chat.
quick.
Do you
Quick
guys
chat.
want some elves
Yeah,
versus affinity,
Cooler decks or finals?
or do you want the finals, or a different thing? Different thing. That's the way to say that. I think different thing.
Wish Zoo color? Yeah, the fun decks. Yeah.
Okay, it actually looks like it looks like they won the finals. Yep, looks like they won the finals.
Finals?
Yep, finals.
Hey guys, sorry. They want
Okay.
so then
Okay, well then we'll put them on there.
Watching-
Okay, okay.
What Dredge?
Okay, so never mind.
He was asking me questions, and I wanted to answer it, so I was excited.
we'll keep that in mind for next time. You've behaved yourself well enough. You're only on.
No, I need to answer those questions, bro.
Okay, well I'll leave these.
Later.
Yeah, exactly.
We have an hour, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so.
we have Dredge on the wall. Jordan.
Man, everything's going on right now. Everything's going on. Okay, so we are actually going to see the. We are actually going to see this matchup after all. So.
Did somebody respond to you OSAP, on Snap?
What?
The capital of Berlin, or Germany is Berlin. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Well, he said it in German, and I didn't know if somebody had responded to him. All right, they're going.
All
They're
right,
rolling.
so we're gonna
They're
head
rolling.
right down there. So we'll see you down there.
Let's race.
All right, so here we
Okay.
go.
Here we go.
Man, that was a tougher race than last time.
Yeah, dude.
I'm really out of shape.
Out of breath.
Yeah.
Hey, are we still playing Tezzeret?
We are now.
Oh man.
Yeah, you did. It's the best dredge deck in the world that plays Tezzeret.
Oh man, yeah, right? Like so good. Dig for 5. Ooh, awkward.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. So, also need to change that picture because I thought it saved, but I guess I didn't. So it turns out Mason not playing
Saint
Demigod of
is
Revenge.
ST on my Twitter. Sorry.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I was putting it wrong earlier.
Oh man. We're
Yep.
over it.
That's about right. So, Jordan gonna start with an untapped stomping ground and a insolent neonate.
Insolent Neonate. I am still a proponent for getting in a couple of damage with him because he's Menace. If you have other ways to discard, do you really need to?
Yeah, it's the classic Tri-Belter getting in some beats in the escape shift match.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, the Neonate has Menace, so like it's going to get in for
Oh yeah.
damage.
Oh
right?
yeah.
At least one. A whole one.
So, Mason's gonna untap. He's gonna play a Glittering Wish.
Wow.
So this is
This is a card.
the namesake of the. Is that Clan Defiance?
Oh, yes. It is in his sideboard is Clan Defiance.
Whoa. Okay.
So, Glittering Wish says you can search your a card you own from outside of the game. In Ariel is a card in your sideboard. For a card in your sideboard that is multicolor. In this case, we searched up a Wheel of Sun and Moon, and that basically
Now-
whenever he dredges, it goes back down to the bottom.
Now,
of the
now
sideboard.
let me tell you, Wheel of Sun and Moon.
Strangely good.
Yeah, I don't think he's not enchanting himself.
Oh no.
He's
Oh, no.
gonna enchant Jordan.
I believe on stream a long time ago, Jesse put Wheel of Sun and Moon on me in a control deck running 4 Snapcaster Mages, and it was the most awkward 2-1s I've ever had.
Speaking of awkward,
We're gonna put that Wheel of Sun and Moon.
Jordan's hand has 3 copies of Prized Amalgam.
Oh, awkward.
Actually, 3 copies of Prized
Yeah, and
Amalgam
then the last one's a Faithless.
and a Conflagrate.
Conflict. So, I will pay 1, put everything on the bottom of my library.
Also, this mediocre beatdown plan that
It's,
you know,
it's
you
how
can
he,
do sometimes.
He's got to do it.
he can't actually cast Prized Amalgam. There are no blue sources in the deck, I don't believe.
There's no blue sources?
I could be wrong on that,
I disapprove of that.
but
I'm the kind of person that always have to be able to cast every single card in your deck at some point.
yeah, I have to agree.
That's why I want Grixis Zombies in Standard instead of...
So that actually is going to go in the bottom of his library first, and then he's going to search.
Yep.
So that is going to get shuffled in his library. Oh, he does have a blue source. Okay. Never
There you
mind.
go. See, we got it.
Never mind.
I
Then the
approve, Jordan.
the mediocre beatdown plan is back on.
Yep. So, worth noting, it is a replacement effect.
Yes,
The
it's
wheel,
not a
the wheel-
trigger.
With the Wheel of Sun and Moon. So, he effectively just turned off pretty much Jordan's entire deck.
He turned off all the dredge cards anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you can't trigger a Narcomoeba
Yep, that's true.
because it goes to the bottom of your deck before the trigger would happen.
Yep. Although at this point, I think it's pretty hard for him to try
win
to
anyway,
to
yeah.
try to
Anyway,
dredge
yeah.
anyway.
So totally not in a good place, but we can cast our 3 prizes. We have 9 damage in our hand, or 9 power.
Can also cast this
Narcomoeba.
this Narcomoeba.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
why Wheel over Rest in Peace? Because Wheel lets Mason have his own graveyard.
Yes. Also, because you can wish for wheel and not. You can't wish.
Yeah,
For
oh, yeah,
rest in
no.
peace.
Also worth noting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
and
now
then we have-
now we're gonna find a fire spout.
Oh man,
So
Fire Spout. This basically lets you do 3 damage to everything if you cast it with both green and red.
yeah, this is. Yep, you do
good-
have to
good
reveal
card.
what you get. Yep.
Yep.
So Fire Spout also. That's one of those cards that's technically multicolor, but you can totally get away with not casting it as a multicolored spell.
Yeah,
Which is one of the weirdest
but I
things
mean,
in the world.
why would we not here?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Mason's list was just posted earlier. It's I was looking over it earlier today, and it's pretty cool.
I like the authority that Jordan uses to attack. Just goes. Yeah, that's some authority right
Yeah,
there.
dude.
So
Yeah,
Mason.
Fire Spout's one of my more favorite cards if it didn't have green in it.
Yeah, so Mason's gonna fall to
We'll just,
13,
go ahead
and
and Fire
Jordan's
Spout now.
gonna go down to 12.
And
But-
put those on the bottom of your library.
Yeah. So what is your result today?
I went 2-1. I dropped because I don't necessarily know that I can finish the round.
Sure.
Before I have to go to work, so I figured give him the win.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
That is very kind.
He was I felt really bad because he was freaking out over his misplay with, and it's just like it's fine, it happens.
So
It
we're gonna
happens.
cast Faithless Looting.
Faithless looting.
We're gonna draw two,
draw
put two
two.
cards on the bottom of the library.
Awkward.
That's actually got to be something pretty cool. I wonder if there's like a way to like break that.
What? Faithless looting?
Just put 2 on the bottom of your library.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, we could have hard cast.
I was gonna say, like, actually,
Mason
at this
doesn't
point-
have. I don't know that Jordan obviously doesn't know this, but Mason, that's his removal, his only board wipe, I believe.
Yeah, that's
Five
true.
mana. Fire spell.
It's funny because I was just talking about this when Anthony was playing earlier, and he kept cycling his creatures.
Yeah.
But I think Jordan might be falling into the trap of my opponent has a hate card, so I can't do these. I can't just cast these as normal cards.
Yeah.
So
No,
and that's no fault of Jordan's. That's
Yeah,
just
of
coming
course.
with an experience. And I know Jordan is very, very new to the deck.
Sure.
So
I agree. As somebody who plays artifacts in a format full of artifact hate,
yeah.
just because somebody plays a hate card doesn't mean you're out. Just keep playing your cards.
So we're gonna see this Huntmaster of the Fells come in,
Mm-hmm.
going to gain 2 life, get a wolf, and Jordan is going to untap and look to probably play some more cards. You might actually see Conflagrate used for more than 0 as actually
Hey.
casting it. Yeah, so we are
There
okay. So we are just
yeah,
gonna cast
so
Prized Amalgam.
He's on the game plan now. Instead of the Black Return, instead of Shadow of the Grave, we play Wheel of Sun and Moon. That would require us to. Every single card in the deck would have to.
Okay, so now
Mom and Pop.
yeah, so now we're
That
just
is-
playing 4-drops, and if Mason could have chalked this up, it would have definitely gone about this like this.
Oh yeah. Mason's deck is definitely mid range.
It is as they say a treat.
H. Rollins 17. Besides the cool name, Henry Rollins, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, high chaos. No, if every single card in the deck would cycle, not bad. I could see that being a thing.
I don't know what we're doing if we're just cycling literally everything, but you know.
Horror, we do the flame combo.
I guess.
Just like standard,
I guess.
right?
I guess.
Might as well.
So if you're Jordan,
Yes.
how do you think you're gonna get out of this game?
Conflagrating something.
Okay. What would be your
That's all
primary?
I got.
What would be your primary target? For
I
that?
don't like that Huntmaster of the Fells. Did you know Huntmaster of the Fells is a good card?
I think I read that somewhere on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Actually, running Victim of Night with it makes it really awkward.
I guess that's true. I haven't had that
It is
interaction
the
in place in
only
standard.
thing in Modern that I can't kill with Victim of Night.
Yeah, that's
Other than like vampire, like
I guess
like
Mutavault.
the Dredge.
mutable. I
Mutavault,
guess.
yeah, like, but I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
let's be honest. Nobody plays Mutavault anymore. It was a hot commodity for a whole.
You're gonna run into that one Merfolk player,
Exactly.
and they're
Well,
just
I
gonna
did-
be like,
I did the other week
no,
on stream.
hey, there you go. So Mason is gonna look at
We
his hand.
have the coolest tech here.
Is that an Ishkana?
Shh. We don't speak of the spider.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
I didn't know the spider was the spider must not be named.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mason's deck is so cool though. Gurmag Angler's pretty good. Yeah. It's a zombie. Yeah, no, Mason's deck is basically just early game we control you, late game we drop stuff that makes way too much
We
power.
are gonna flip this Huntmaster of the
We're
Fells.
gonna zap your Neonate and you.
We're gonna fall down to 8.
Do we not sack it?
You make sure that he puts that on the bottom of the order. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Oh, look at that.
Mason's catching him. Mason actually keeps track of his triggers. I don't.
I was gonna say I actually missed some triggers than I thought.
Yeah, so Ishkana is in the deck.
Huh.
He has a single black source to activate the activated ability. But yeah, no, it's literally his deck is literally just control you for a few turns and then just start dropping tokens, token makers and direct damage, and it's a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, so. Well, that is.
It's a deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a great deck. You know, Clan Defiance finishes off.
Wow.
It's a good card.
So, Mason taking game 1, basically on the back of that Wheel of Sun and Moon. That's got to be something that Jordan's going to keep in the
You know,
back of
I've
his
always
mind.
had a question. If you're running Glittering Wish, do you actually sideboard?
That is actually what I was literally about to ask you about. So, a wish board.
I've never run a wish board. I've never run a wish deck. I can see, like, maybe, like, if there's a card that's not nearly as important, but still pretty good, and you don't want to have to wish for it,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being a thing. But why, like, it's a 2-mana tutor, right? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the classic problem with wish boards. What do you wish in? What do you board in? What do you board out?
What do you wish for? What do you, yeah, like, and I mean, like, but it's pretty cool that you can still have access to the things that you take out, generally speaking. Obviously, you can't get, like, the Ishkana or the
There's a Behemoth Sledge in the sideboard?
yeah, well, so he changed that. That's actually a Trostani Voice of Selesnya. Which, strangely enough, when you're making 5 or, you know, Mom and Pop is 4 mana, so you're gaining 4 life, make 4 power, 2 of it's flying. You play Huntmaster, make 4 power, gain 4 life. You flip the Huntmaster, deal 2, flip it back, gain 2, gain 4, because you're gaining 2 off of the flip. The deck is not bad in my opinion, but I have really crappy opinions. So.
The old Fungal
The old
Reach
Fungal Reach
is...
is or no, that's obviously that's for Kesed Wolf Run. Does he have Kesed?
yeah, there's
he
a
has
Wolf
one
Run.
of Kesed. Obviously for the Kesed.
Oh, wow. Oh, Mason, what have you been doing?
So you bring in 2 cards that are a single color, but bringing in actually anything else makes.
Well, it's
Yeah,
wish
so-
boards, even as the moment that you couldn't wish for things that were already removed. As soon as the wish boards really started to take off, that's always been an interesting thing. By playing them in your main deck, you're well, like in this case, Huntmaster of the Fells.
Yeah.
There's looks like there's only 1 in the board. Unless he's changed this list more. Which is possible. But it looked like he had 1 in the main. So he has 1 in the main and then 1 in the board. So he's functionally has, in this case he's playing 3 Glittering Wish.
Yeah.
So he functionally has 4 copies of Huntmaster of the Fells if he needs them.
I would just like to point out, and I mentioned this about a month ago, the Fiery Justice for the Death Shadow decks.
Well, I mean we've all had cards that we've pointed out against Death Shadow that have done really good. Like I've pointed out Condemn and
Oh, Condemn's great.
yeah, Condemn's great.
Fiery Justice.
Fiery
one
Justice
of
is
my favorite
also
cards.
very cool.
Yeah. Very bad in any other matchup, but that's why we can wish for it. Is that Mystic Enforcer?
There is a Mystic Enforcer.
That's
AKA the only card with Threshold. Legal and modern.
yeah. Time Shift is a powerful mechanic.
Wow. Okay, so I now want Mason to win every game in the history of Magic.
Yeah, so yeah, he did put a Trostani in for the Behemoth Sledge, but that's really about it. The Dressani is better just because
Huh.
you don't need a board state for it to get value. Like, you play it, and then the next thing you play, done. You don't have to wait for
There are
combat.
4 copies of Traverse the Elven Wald. That is a lot of traverses.
Well, I mean, you have your
Wow.
artifacts. Sorcerers, Planeswalker. Like, you can get Delirium fairly easy in this deck.
That's true. So,
Oh, no, I agree. I love Fiery Justice.
I do
think
remember
giving
when.
your opponent 5
when-
life
Yeah, wow.
is not overly, like, painful when you're killing 5 of their creatures.
So, that looting for Jordan discarded a Bloodghast and a Golgari Thug. We're going to dredge 4. We're going to find an Archimedes, but no Amalgam. So, this is not looking the worst thing in the world. Mason is looking at that path, going to maybe try to look at pathing the Narcomoeba, but I don't think that's the battle you want to fight on.
Yeah. His curve is really low as well.
Yeah, it is.
Or, I mean, considering it's a mid-range deck, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of 1-drops.
Oh, yeah.
So a fetch going to get back that Bloodghast. Jordan's going to fall down to 17.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think, what land do you think he's going to get here?
115. We are looking for probably a black source,
Okay.
but who am I? Hey, a black source.
Hey, look at that.
Also, there's red.
I think everything in this deck is a red source.
Probably.
So you can cast a Neonate on turn 1.
Or Neonate and turn 2 have Cathartic Reunion.
Oh, sure. Oh, right.
Just really, really powerful draw spells.
The Raven sings your favorite deck is Dredge. That is a bold sentence to say on the internet.
Yeah. You know what? I can't bash you for it. But
It's a very cool deck.
yeah, it's cool.
Oh, I guess it's not Zoo. Not bad.
Hey, look, there's our reunion. Some more dredgers. Well, we've had worse.
Yeah, looks like we didn't hit another Dredge off that, so...
No, so we'll draw 2.
Yeah, just...
But we hit a what's his name? Amalgam. We hit an amalgam off of it.
True, but like,
But we'll
this...
pass it, so I don't know.
This is, it's actually...
Find another land there, buddy.
This actually doesn't look that bad for Mason.
No, Dredge is a very good deck. It's
Fistful of Metal, 2001.
yeah.
Welcome to Fortnite. Oh, I'm sorry, you were saying?
I don't want to bash him. How about that?
Okay.
How about that? Golf ball of 17. I can barely read that because of the color. Thank you. Yeah, golf ball of 17. Yeah, I don't want to bat. Like, all the decks in Modern are all of the top tier ones are awesome. I may call Death Shadow a meme deck, but it's a piece of art. Like,
I don't hate any deck in Modern other than Tron.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. But I've been very vocal about my dislike of Tron. So at this point, I can't not say that.
I just don't like bashing decks often.
Okay, so Jordan's going to look at his graveyard. He's going to
Yep.
find no dredgers. So he's going to have to draw a card the way Richard Garfield intended.
It.
Yep.
On your draw step.
On your draw step. 1 for turn.
Take your special game action and draw a card.
Okay, so he's going to turn him sideways.
Swing for and get you.
All right, and then we're going to maybe see if Mason wants to crack
Probably
that spell bomb.
crack that and zap something.
This is a full thing I don't really want to get into in the middle of a game, but
It's fast mana. He doesn't like fast mana.
I don't like uninteractive decks, I'll put it that way.
So we do find that red source. Take 3 and zap an Archimedes.
Yeah, we're taking 3 initially to prevent 3 in the long run, so
Sure, yeah.
it's
I don't hate this play at all. But I mean, we have 3 out of 4 Delirium right now.
mhm.
I honestly think that's what he was going for.
True. Now the Tron soundtrack, on the other hand,
Ooh.
that's some pretty,
Amazing.
some
What's
pretty
up?
awesome things.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Forgot his phone.
Yep, that's pretty important. So Collective Brutality, gonna discard Stinkweed Imp to target, to probably drain and see if you can get an instant or sorcery out of the hand.
Yeah. High likelihood, I believe.
Yeah, we have two.
Path or life gain. I think we take the life gain here, right?
I think you actually take the path.
Really?
You have a Bloodghast in play.
That's fair. I don't. Yeah, I can agree with that. But at the same time, yeah, 10 is still half.
Yeah, what does it matter?
10 isn't very close.
What does it matter if he gains 3 life? You're going to be attacking him for a lot more.
Stirring Wildwood. Leaving.
You are going to leave up that Helix.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah, that Helix can take down the Narcomoeba if need be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, so Jordan's going to go to his turn. He's going to dredge 5. And we're going to find
Land,
map
land,
and
conflagrate.
looting land and loot land. So the conflagrate in the graveyard is the conflagrate is something that Mason needs to be aware of, but I'm not sure there's anything he can do about it.
I agree with that sentiment. You just, I mean, we drop anything and it just gets zapped with conflagrate. And then he gets to drop his, or eventually gets to drop his, yeah, no, it does get to drop his hand because that's flashback.
Yep, it's flashback, discard X cards to deal X damage.
Yep.
So, gonna look to maybe try to... Oh, he has another collective brutality. Now, that might be something he's looking at.
I like it, but I like holding off a turn or two.
Okay. Alright, so
Dakmar
we're gonna
Salvage.
play Dakmar Salvage, get back the other Bloodghast. And we're gonna Lightning Helix the Narcomoeba, gonna go up to 13. Now those Bloodghasts no longer have haste.
Ooh. Darn.
Because now Mason is above 10 life.
Yep.
Also, Onsep, if you're actually wondering, I can get into it between games.
Later.
Yeah, just
Just
yeah,
There you
maybe
go,
not in the
golf
middle
ball.
of a game. That's all.
oh,
Yep, they're just resolving a judge question. That's what you should do when you have a question.
totally.
Just don't
So
worry.
because they no longer gain haste, and they were recently summoned character with the Dakmar Salvage trigger, I'm gonna be honest, I was only half paying attention
Yeah,
to the
the
actual game.
Bloodghast came back off of the Dakmar Salvage trigger, and then I think it was before you go to attacks. I'm gonna
put
kill your
myself
guy.
at 10.
Go
Your creatures are still summoning sick
Yep.
without haste.
Yep, they do not have haste anymore.
Correct.
That is the way to
We
say it.
can conflagrate his face for 3.
I believe we're in declare attackers, so
Oh, it's a sorcery, isn't it?
yes,
Yes.
it is. It is a thing.
Yep. It'd be really good if it was instant speed.
Trust me, I'm very glad it's not an instant. So, feel like we may have gotten that resolved really quickly. Seems like a quick question.
Sure. So we will second main phase,
Yep, we're just gonna cast
Brutality.
the brutality.
ditching 1 card.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be a drain as well.
Go to 11 on Mason's
11 to 19.
side, and pass. Right. It is 15 after, so I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
No. Keep. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun.
Okay, I'm glad you.
I got to go infinite in 3 out of 3 matches, and that feels good. But I've got to make money somehow.
Well, you gotta make that dollar bill.
Dollar bill. See you later, everybody. See you later, chat.
All right, so Maeve is gonna head out. She's got to go to work. Workity, work. On the other hand, Jordan is looking to be in pretty good control of this game. Mason has played a Tireless Tracker over. That is not. If he gets to untap with it, it's a different story. But right now, it's not looking super hot. An attack and then a fetch. Gonna fall all the way down to 8. It's interesting. I wonder if Mason found a path to exile or something like that. That would be a reason to do this.
My turn.
And Mason did in fact find a path to exile. So that was the reason for the shock.
All right.
So welcome back, Nate.
Oh, thanks.
Did you enjoy your round out there?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I spent all this time hyping up Affinity, and then you drew. And then you just drew on me. This guy.
That's all good. I'm tired.
So, Jordan, this is your friend that's starting to play Dredge.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Well, he's doing pretty good. He got Wheel of Sun and Moon game 1.
What does that one do?
If you enchant player, if that player would put something into their graveyard, they put it on the bottom of their library instead.
Ooh, ouch.
So that's pretty rough.
Ouch.
But he's looking a lot better this game.
What is Glittering Naya? What is that based around? Like, what is that-
Glittering Wish.
Which does.
So it's a wish. So you get, but you get multicolored cards.
Interesting.
And Wheel of Sun and Moon, funny enough, is a green-white hybrid card.
Ah. And so the wish basically just you pull it from deck?
You pull it from your sideboard. It's from outside of the game.
Oh, okay.
And in competitive terms, that is your sideboard.
Gotcha. Not. Let me dig through my.
Yeah, now I'm gonna pull out
through
my
my binder.
I'm gonna find this one card that gets you. I'm gonna get this card that's might not even be legal in the format.
Right. I'm just gonna play this.
I'm gonna play this card. Cool. All right, so Jordan's going to cast a Life from the Loam, get back some cards, and maybe look to conflagrate his way out of this game. Oh no, we're just casting Stinkweed Imp. Maybe just try to show our boy that we're not going to lose.
Yeah, I mean he's up at the moment, so
He's definitely ahead on the board, and with a Conflagrate in his graveyard, it's not looking as good. Yeah, Mason just recently cut Bonfire. He's not very happy about that.
What is that?
Because he's played a lot of Bonfire of the Names over the years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He used to be the one guy I could count on to play Bonfire of the Damned.
Awesome.
Yep. So we're going to dredge Loam. We're going to probably cast the Loam here in a second. And then probably look to conflagrate our way out of this game. And that would be quite the way to doing we're just going to do a classic dredge thing of get a lot of cards, do a lot of things,
Yeah.
then win the game because your opponent didn't draw a hate card.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, they don't have a Grafdigger's Cage? Cool.
They don't have like a Rest in Peace or Surgical Extraction or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. That is the way of dredge though. You have to be prepared for it. And if you're not prepared for it, you're gonna lose probably.
Yeah. Now see, and like, as you know, I kind of helped him build the deck.
Yep.
No, so I showed you the list. You looked at the
Yeah, I
list,
looked
right?
at your list.
So-
List looks good.
Yeah. So so what do you think? Is there anything that could be possibly changed? I.e. for like current meta, anything like that?
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think the most dredge lists look similar,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this one's fine. I like them. I like more Conflagrates.
Yeah.
I think the card's really good.
Yeah. He was. He at one point had 20 land and I think 2 Conflagrates. I think it
Okay.
was. And he dropped the one land. I think he dropped like either a fetch or a crypt. I can't remember.
Okay.
But dropped one of them for a third Conflagrate.
Yeah, Conflagrate's
And-
just absolutely insane.
And I really think that was a good idea, just because Conflagrate is one of those win cons that you can.
Yeah, like you just saw here, like Jordan was kind of losing on the board, and then it was just suddenly, I'm just gonna win with a Conflagrate out of the graveyard. So I'm actually going to switch this up now that's there.
Oh, cool.
There we go. Okay, so Jordan's gonna take game 2.
Perfect. Then I say we lost game 1, taking game 2.
Yeah, that's kind of the reverse how Dredge normally plays.
Yeah. So no, going into game 3, obviously we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
What would they each sideboard?
Well, that's the thing. Mason has a wish sideboard,
Yeah,
so you don't want to board any of your wish targets.
that makes sense. And so what does he have in
That's actually the question I was asking Maeve earlier. Since you have a wish board, when do you board in your wish targets?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't actually have a good answer for that.
Okay, is this basically
This is basically Mason's list.
Okay.
Minus a couple cards.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
His list is always all over the place.
Huh. Excuse me.
Okay, so we are heading into the next game here.
Huh.
And Jordan probably boarded in at least a couple copies of Nature's Claim because he got completely schooled by
The
Wheel of Sun and Moon game
Yeah.
1.
Now the wheel is
It's an enchantment.
it is an enchantment. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up that. Oh, womp womp womp.
Yep.
Let's see. This should be his list, roughly.
Okay, so he does have 2 copies of Nature's Claim out of the sideboard,
Mm-hmm.
and probably that's probably about it. Actually no, we saw the Collective Brutalities come in game 2,
Yeah, I know he really likes those,
so
which I mean obviously makes sense.
that's a very good card.
Especially pull the Glittering Wish out.
Yeah, or the card you wish for if that
Because no,
happens.
the Glittering Wish just pulls it and puts it in your hand.
Just puts it in your hand. You don't get to cast it. I wish it was
Okay.
wish it was that good, but
You wish?
hey, look at that.
Ah,
You got me. You got me. This is why they pay you the big bucks.
No, it's not.
That's not why they do it.
No. I could get into why they pay me.
Yeah.
They pay me what they do. But I prefer to leave work at work.
That's true. That's true. It is. That is. Yeah, that's something.
It's the nice thing about our craft, though, is that, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
a lot of people, it's like, you know, they're still making calls when they get home, and they're still having to do this, do
No,
this
I
kind of
just,
research.
no,
We go deliver and pick up packages, and we
Yep.
come home, and
Yep.
that's it.
That's it. Don't have to worry about that.
So,
Okay, so it looks like Mason is gonna mulligan, and it's a little unfortunate if you're on Team Glittering Wish, which I think most of us are if you're not Nate or Jordan.
see, I obviously, Jordan being my buddy,
Oh yeah,
And-
no, you root for your friends.
and it's also the fact that, like, he was playing Splendid Dredge before he stopped playing Magic for just a little bit. Just
Okay.
because, like, he just kind of got, like, irritated because, well, they banned
Yeah.
Grave Troll.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so, you know, that makes anybody upset. It was like, I had built the rock way back.
Okay.
And then they, you know, right after I built the rock, hadn't had any sort of tournament play with it. And they banned Deathrite. And
Okay.
I was so upset, just completely and totally shocked, and just distressed, and just whatever other emotion you can attach to it, right?
Yeah.
Sold pretty much all of it. And I regret all of it to this day. And so that's why I'm going to rebuild it. Slowly but surely.
True. True. And all it would take is only 1 kidney.
Yeah.
Only 1 kidney to buy most of it.
Or a testicle. I mean, I just...
So, an attack from this Insolent Neonate going to put Mason down to 17. And with Mason's mana base, it is a little bit awkward since he's not playing a whole lot of basics. I think 2 total.
Okay.
And granted, this might be an outdated list, but you know, it's his.
Either way.
He's not playing a whole lot of basics.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we're falling to 16. Gonna go search for a tap land.
Is that a foothills he has?
Yes.
Sitting up
Yep. That is.
Yeah.
Just we're gonna search. We're gonna go find Sacred Foundry there. Untap. There's a lot of mountains in play.
Yeah, there's...
So TJ is here in spirit.
Yes, he is.
So even if he's not here in the booth, he's here on the battlefield because that is 4 consecutive mountains.
Sorry, I'm reading through some of these comments right now.
Yep. So traverse the Elven Mold without Delirium. So he's gonna go either search for a forest or plains, and we're gonna break that. We're gonna break that streak at 4, or at the minimum of 4. But maybe Jordan is gonna be able to find any land because he did in fact skip his second land drop,
Yeah.
which is not what you want.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not in the best position.
Yeah, but if there's any deck that can do it, it is actually Dredge.
It is.
Didn't get a good look at that. Jordan's being very sneaky about his draws.
Well, yes.
So-
Which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But he's he's also learning this deck. You know, it's
Oh yeah. I
it
get
is not an easy deck by any sort of means to,
No,
to try to find
no.
it. You know, it's definitely one of those ones you have to kind of think. You have to kind of sit there and think, is this a good hand? Is this capable? You know what? Scratch it. Why not? You know.
The old discard to hand size bit.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mason's going to use that Spellbomb to draw a card, getting him closer to that Delirium count. He's got 3 of 4 already. Maybe try to find a Glittering Witch pretty quick.
Now his Delirium is for which card?
For Traverse the Ulvenwald.
Which gives him, when he has Delirium, what?
So normally you search for a basic land.
Okay.
Traverse says when you have Delirium, you get to search for either A, any land.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's a basic or not. Or any creature in your deck.
Okay. And so, again, that's why he has
That's
clearly
why
this,
all of these.
clearly this gigantic list of...
And then also, it's important for that card.
Okay. When Ishkana... Ishkana? Oh.
Ishkana Greffido.
Ishkana.
Ishkana.
Okay. And that's when she enters, right?
Yep.
She? He? She?
She.
She. Yeah, she. Yeah, Graf Widow. Yeah.
Greffido.
Yeah.
So a bolt at Jordan's face, just ignoring that Neonate altogether, and we are getting a full built Traverse the Ulvenwald. That instant going in the graveyard, providing 4th type. And I wonder if we're just gonna go get. Oh, we're gonna get Scavenging Ooze. That seems like a pretty good card.
Yeah. That's definitely one that Dredge doesn't want to see ever.
Dredge and Living End both.
Yeah.
So basically, the 2 decks that 2 of the 3 decks that Nate has and his friends have shown up with. Jeff Hoogland is hosting our stream.
Ooh.
Hello to the 6 people watching over here.
Hello.
I'm Coleman.
I'm Nate.
We're coming at you from Geek Fortress. It's a store up in
Snowho.
the Snohomish, Washington. If you ever have a problem thinking about how to pronounce it, just think about like a home that's covered in snow, but only like halfway there. So it's snow home ish. It's a snow home ish. So that's how I've always described it. Is I was just like, it's a snow home
my word.
ish.
Oh my word.
So anyway,
It's not nearly as bad as any of the other cities in Washington. Puyallup, Squim,
Walla Walla,
Hoquiam,
Hoquiam. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, we're playing some modern action.
Anacortes.
We have some modern action tonight, and this is our final round. Seeing some Glittering Naya versus Dredge. This Glittering Naya deck, it's a mid-range deck that's playing a Glittering Witch package out of the board. Oh really? That's very. I'm glad to hear that, Shriek Bob. I'm glad to hear more people are playing turns. That deck is, as they say, sweet.
What? Where do you?
Where is it? There it is.
Ooh.
He doesn't know about turns.
I don't know this.
Oh, let me enlighten you on this thing right now. Snahamish. I think that's the shorthand. It's Snahamish.
No, Snowho.
It's Snowho? Oh,
Snowho.
I'm not up to date on my
Snowho.
Snowho.
In the Snowho.
So, the Scavenging is going to try to go after. Looks like we are going to hit 2 of those creatures.
He's still not good on land.
Yeah, maybe he should have tried to find a land with that Neonate pretty quickly, but at this point, it's not looking good for the Dredge player.
Because with the Neonate, you basically, that's the point where you have to discard and sack it to draw.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to get there with it. Has he sacked it and drawn it?
I believe after it got bolted, he might have done that.
Yeah, in response.
Yep. So Mason's going to go up to, I believe this is 17 now.
19.
Oh, no, 19. I'm pretty far behind. And it's an attack for 7, and Jordan's just going to scoop him up. It's pretty hard to...
Yes!
All right, so we're going to head back up to the booth. And,
Shoot the blue!
And Nate can figure out what his answers are to the other 4 questions.
Oh, that's right.
Because I don't think he even finished taking the first one.
I didn't even finish taking the first one before I was uprooted.
All right, so we'll see you up there. Okay, so welcome back to the booth. My name is Coleman.
I'm Nate.
We're playing some modern action. That was, I believe, our final match of the night. but I'm just gonna do a super quick interview with Nate here.
Me.
So the first question was, how did you first start?
Or when did
you first start playing Magic?
Yes. And so, for anybody who hadn't
Yeah,
been listening for earlier, I first started playing roughly at the tail end of Scourge, all the way through the Mirrodin block, and about halfway through Kamigawa, which again was about roughly what?
About 2005, 2006.
Roughly.
Yeah, about that.
And so I played through there, and that was with the block that I was heaviest in, which is part of the reason why I'm so just like attached to Affinity.
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
It's one of those, because that was
exactly.
That was my roots, man.
Yeah.
And so that's where I got started on that. And then, you know, of course, as you grow up, all your friends are like, oh man, I'm not playing Magic anymore, I'm playing all that, or whatever. And so everybody stopped playing Magic, and I was like, well, I still have all these cards, like, so I kept them, ended up not playing again for years, started back up, I think Return to Ravnica.
Okay.
Yeah, was I think when I started back up again.
Okay.
And then I have been playing since. There's been some blocks that I've kind of like skipped out on for the most part.
Yeah.
Just in like haven't really bought a whole lot. I haven't really drafted a whole lot into it, but have been playing basically since Return to Ravnica.
That's actually a pretty cool thing. So were you a competitive player for most of it, or you just starting to get back into the competitive
When
scene?
when I had started back into Return to Ravnica is when I started kind of building my way into being more of a competitive player. Because when I was younger, I had no idea that this was competitive to me. It was just a card game. You know, it was just the fact that like, oh, I'm just playing Magic with a bunch of my friends.
Okay.
And then again, around the time of Return to Ravnica is when I found more people were playing. I was like, oh hey, I have a bunch of old cards. Like, let me get back into this.
Oh sure.
You know, and so then I ended up finding a shop down the street from me and started playing there more and getting more into it. And building more friendships from that. That's where I met Bryce and the Donaldson brothers.
Yeah.
TJ, etc. All of them. And started playing a little bit more competitively.
So you actually know Bryce and all of them from way back before you met me.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I met them from the Mill Geek days.
Ooh, that is...
If you've
that
ever
is-
heard about the Mill Geek
I
days.
have heard about the Mill Geek days.
Yes. When we all went up to Van for the first time.
Oh man, that is some old school things.
What, day 2'd?
Okay, so that was question 1.
Yes.
So question 2, what is your favorite Magic card of all time?
Ooh. Oh, this is... Ooh.
So obviously we know TJ's. TJ's is Lightning Bolt, because of
Yeah.
course it's Lightning Bolt.
I know, that's rough. Oh, man. Oh, hey, Peter's thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just looked over there.
No, yeah, that's
What's up,
fine.
Peter? Favorite Magic card of all time. Now, when you say favorite Magic card, doesn't have to necessarily be in terms of
What is the card you feel the most attachment to?
most attachment to. That's really tough because I don't necessarily just feel attachment to just one card.
Okay,
per se.
that's fine. That's fine. What is
But there's one card that I've
if you had to give me like a top 3?
Okay, so I'll answer it. I'll answer it this way.
Okay.
In the fact that Birds of Paradise. Who
Yeah.
says Birds of Paradise? Come on. I mean, I get it, but come on.
Birds of Paradise might actually be in my top.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
Yeah.
I got you. And it's all gonna be artifacts. I mean, let's just be
Is it
real.
like cranial plating?
No, it's
Oh.
like okay. So number one and the one that I would have to answer this question for
'Kay.
is a card that I don't play.
Okay.
I don't touch it. It's
'Kay.
sitting in my binder,
Okay.
and it's not the most expensive card I own either.
Okay, well, that's fine.
It is a foil original Darksteel Aether Vial that I opened up from a Darksteel pack.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
the card that I have had the longest.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense.
And-
It's the one you have the most attachment to.
Exactly, and so it is easily I would put that as the one that
Okay.
I have the most attachment to.
Okay, and that's totally fine. I totally get where that's coming from.
And so then there was a little bit more of an attachment from that. Oh, you do.
No, you're good. Way to go. Nice. So it was an unfortunate game 3.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But-
I kept a terrible hand. I shouldn't have. I had one
Yeah.
land. I was just hoping to draw that land. Just
Yeah.
never did. I think
Yeah.
I could have
Yeah.
gone somewhere if I drew it, but
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. But anyway, so that was question 2.
Okay. Well, so to finish off the question.
Oh, yeah, sure.
For
No problem.
the attachment of that, right?
Mhm.
Is so like I said, I opened this foil Aether Vial
Okay.
from a pack in Darksteel when I first was playing, right? And
Sure.
I thought this was the coolest thing, right?
Yeah.
kept onto it, held onto it for the longest time, and then eventually, like when I started playing Magic again, I was like, oh, this is
This
worth
card-
something.
this card
This
is-
is worth something.
Yeah.
Let me sell it. And so I sold it to
Yeah.
Ross and Mill Geek,
Yeah.
and ended up, I was like, I was regretting it. He had it for the, like, he kept it, like, didn't really sell it, never got around to sell, like, never got to sell it. And I'm like, man, I kind of want that back. Like, just because that was like that's
It's the first thing you opened.
that's the piece
Yeah.
of my childhood that I have
Oh,
left because
sure.
I didn't have at this point I didn't have any of my other cards,
Okay.
and so like that was like to me like that was that last piece of like my original like
Oh,
my
yeah.
Magic roots, right? And so he's like all right, he was building a foil Modern Masters set,
Okay.
which impressive, right? And I don't remember if he got all of it, but he was like, you find me a foil Ether Vial from Modern Masters 1, and just swap it right back across.
Okay.
I was like, all right, fine. So I did it, and I held on to it.
Oh,
And
nice.
so that was like I almost got rid of it, and like everybody's always looked at me like, oh come on, dude, you want to sell this? You want to sell this? Nope, not
Yeah, I was
happen.
gonna be at this point. You
Yeah.
went through the trouble. You're gonna
I'm
get
taking
it back.
it to the grave.
Okay. So question 3.
Yes.
What is your favorite deck of all time?
Whew.
Deck
So,
deck/archetype.
deck/archetype.
Yeah. Because obviously you love Affinity, but you also love the
Yes.
Rock.
So I love the Rock
Mhm.
because I love control that isn't blue. Not
Okay.
because I hate blue or that
Yeah.
I dislike blue, but I love the fact that the control that is not blue.
Okay.
Right. And as much as I love red, I will always admit I think at my core a red player.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Sure.
I just have yet to change the island in my affinity deck to a mountain because I haven't found the right foil mountain to put in
Oh.
it, right?
Oh, you and I would not get along. I don't like foils.
Really?
I don't like foils. I like white borders.
Oh, okay, see.
Yeah.
No, if I had like a revised ooh.
Oh.
Boy.
Oh, man. Oh, be still my beating heart.
Awesome. But no, I would have to say as much as I'm it's a better love story than Twilight Nate.
It's more adversity. It's more adversity than Twilight, probably.
Yeah, it is. I'm in love with a robot.
You're not in love with a robot. You're in love with just a file.
I know.
It's just something this big.
Just like
Yeah.
anyway, but so I would have to say probably my love for Affinity is great.
Okay.
It is definitely up there.
Okay.
Up there.
Probably up there.
But I would have to say my love for the Rock and just the way the deck plays.
Okay.
And because with Affinity, I don't have to think. It is just
Sure.
you know, like you have to think when you go into game 2 and game 3, just
Sure.
because then you have to start kind of thinking like, oh, like I don't know, like what like today I played Merfolk for the first time in forever. And I had to kind of sit there and like, well, how do I work against Merfolk?
Sure.
Right, and you know, because it's just not something that I play against all the time. It's not a very popular deck. And so I had to get there like that. But so it's one of those decks where you really kind of don't have to think. You just have to make sure you have a good sideboard to answer your opponent's
Sure.
sideboard.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Right. And so like I was talking earlier, like with the Gear Up or Either Grid, beautiful addition.
Oh, sure.
Beautiful addition to the sideboard. Being able to work around Stony Silence, which just wrecks. You know, I mean, Kataki War's Rage, I think, is the right.
Yeah.
name.
War's Way. Yeah.
Still just wrecks me to this
Oh,
day.
yeah,
and
that
I
card's insane.
absolutely hate it.
Mhm.
And so, and it's just a matter of like, well, is my opponent going to play Kataki? Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah,
and not
sure.
having been in the meta for too long,
Mhm.
you know, then you have to kind of adjust. But playing the Rock, you have to think so much, and I love it because I have to actually sit there and look at my cards and say, well, do I Thoughtseize now? Do I Inquisition? You know, it's turn 1. Do I drop the fetch and shock? How do I do this?
Actually,
do I take 5 damage turn 1 by fetching, shocking, and thought
Thoughtseize.
seizing?
Yeah.
You know.
So actually, Karate Kid brings up a good point. So for someone who's never played the Rock before,
Okay.
or Rock style decks, what is the Rock?
The Rock.
And let's ignore the name because the name is at this point 17 times removed from what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. So the Rock is black-green control
Yeah, Black Green X.
at its core, and so it plays your normal Jund style core minus the red.
Yes.
So you've got main board. Your basic creatures are going to be Tarmogoyfs and all 4 elves. Tarmogoyfs, Scavenging Ooze, Dark Confidant. What's the other one that it plays now? It plays something.
I mean, there's the Death Shadow versions.
I don't like Death Shadow. Death Shadow. I have it on here somewhere. Give me just 2 seconds.
Okay, but that's the traditional rock decks.
Yes.
It's green-black control decks.
Tireless Tracker. Plays 2
Oh,
of those.
Tracker. Okay.
Yeah, plays 2 Scoozes, 2 Tireless Trackers, 4 Confidants.
Oh, you're just on straight black-green. None of this. Oh, you have a light red splash.
This is a light red splash on this one. This
Wow,
is this is a list that I pulled from online.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm gonna start kind of working around
Interesting.
with.
And I guess Peter is also on that. Peter is also
Oh, is he?
a fan of the rock decks.
Yeah.
So
Peter's,
Okay.
Peter's also a very good player. So
that's true. So we've answered the first 3 questions.
okay,
Question 4, and this is the good one.
okay.
Where I'm trying to phrase it. Hold on. Trying to find the right way to approach it. If you had to pick a card that you've won with more than any other card,
Okay.
what would that card be and why? So
So
for
what card? The question is basically what card have I won with most and why?
yeah,
Okay.
or what card defines you
What card defines me?
as like I'm like a Thoughtseize guy, or like I'm a Bolt guy.
I gotcha.
I'm trying to figure out what the best way to phrase that is.
I gotcha. This is, I think, where like in my thought process of how I kind of have to think of this, it's
Yeah.
kind of like what's better, the chicken nugget or the sauce you dip it in? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, in this case, it's the chicken nugget or barbecue. Just
Yeah. Oh, obviously it's barbecue. Come on.
McDonald's barbecue, just like I don't know why it's terrible and filled with sugar, and I love it. But it basically comes down to Etch Champion or cranial plating.
Okay.
And I've noticed there've been a lot of lists that will like cut
Mhm.
Etch Champions like down to 2, just main board, no sideboard, or cut 2 main board, 2 sideboard. I keep 4 main board at all times.
Okay.
Just because I love the evasion. I love it's 3 mana, but by the time you play it, you have Metalcraft.
Okay.
You know, and but then put it in the other hand, and cranial plating also makes that.
Okay.
Because while there's Etch Champion that has the pro colors, just evasion, and it's a 2/2 base,
Okay.
2/2 butt, and that can just get there on its own.
Okay.
Say you even Ravager and you sack enough
Yeah,
stuff,
you do
whatever,
Ravager things.
and still keep your Metalcraft, and you can still just get there, right? But at the
Okay.
same time, you can also have that cranial plating, put that on like a Vault Scourge.
Oh, sure.
Like when I was playing Merfolk earlier,
Yeah.
there's no flying.
Oh,
No.
yeah, obviously.
And so
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, cool, Vault Scourge, cranial plating, and just go. And then you're just like, okay, well, I'm just gaining life all day.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes just the attach feature, not even just the equip feature. But then you're like, oh, well, they're gonna change up blockers, so then you can, thinking that
Yeah.
at that point it becomes, well, maybe the sauce is a little bit better than the chicken nugget,
Okay.
And so that's where it comes down to, I think. Through me talking it out over the last minute, I would probably have to say cranial plating is actually probably
Okay.
if they
Okay.
were to gut affinity, the best way to do it is with cranial plating.
Oh, sure. Okay, so now we're up to question number 5. This is gonna be the last question of the night.
All right.
Okay. Well, after this, we're gonna host over to someone, so no pressure.
Okay. What does that mean?
We're just gonna
mean?
we're gonna So it's probably going to be TJ's stream because he's streaming right now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But we're just gonna tell everyone like, hey, you should go check these guys out.
Okay.
They're doing a pretty good job.
Okay.
So, the last question.
Oh, hang on. Peter is asking me a question.
Oh, sure.
Before we do that. just
Oh, sure,
because
no problem.
I'm looking through this really quick.
Yep.
Peter, I think I sold them for about $120 each, right? Because
No, that's not bad then. That's not bad.
Or it was like, no, because I think I sold them for. Yeah, I sold them for $120 each at the time. Yeah, because I got $500 out of it.
Okay. So, final question.
Mm-hmm.
What mechanic do you wish would return in the next set?
Ooh.
And why is it not Storm?
Why is it not Storm? Well, because Storm should never return, really.
Yeah, okay. So, but if you had to pick a mechanic,
Yeah.
and actually let's just say it's Ixalan, that way you don't have to worry about meshing with Amonkhet, which is the next block.
Okay.
Let's just say it's that one. You don't know anything about the set. You don't
Okay.
know what kind of flavor it has, what mechanic do you want back?
I wonder how many people are going to hate me when I say this. I'm just going to say it just to get people to hate me.
Aside from Affinity, because that's clearly what you want.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Banding.
You want banding back?
Banding.
Why would you want
Why
banding?
not? Because it's not Storm.
It is definitely not Storm.
Amonkhet, if I recall, didn't banding appear quite often in like Arabian Nights?
Oh, it appeared in older sets.
Yeah, but it also appeared
Older
in
sets.
Arabian Nights, right?
I couldn't tell you about that. But.
Oh, well, then maybe. I don't know. I'm old. What do you think? I know this stuff. But,
I don't.
okay, part of that wasn't actually serious.
Okay, but
Because banding should never come back.
Okay.
Banding is a terrible mechanic.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was great, but at the same time, you're like, oh my god, banding, how does this work?
Okay, so
if I were to pick a mechanic...
like, if you're in R&D...
Yeah, which is probably not a good idea.
Well, I'm going to say the same thing about myself. So...
I deliver packages all day.
So, yeah, if you were in R&D and they came up to you like, hey Nate, we need a mechanic for the new set. We're gonna base the set around it.
Okay.
What would you pick?
Okay. Well, let's look. Let's think. Okay. This is where we're gonna collaborate on this. So let's look at some of those look at some of the old mechanics.
Okay.
And
Morph.
Yeah. So we've seen.
Well, we had Morph.
We've seen Morph. We've seen Cycle come back. What else is there? I'm trying to blank. It's late, man.
Well, you run down the list. You have Imprint.
Oh, Imprint.
I would have probably brought back something from, Ravnica.
We just had Madness come back too, right? Didn't
Yeah, we definitely just had. We had Madness. Maybe something from Future Sight. Like one of the ones that maybe Gravestorm or something.
What was Gravestorm?
It's on Bitter already. You copy it for every spell everything that hit the graveyard this turn.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not gonna. That's such a weird card, but.
See, okay, somebody's saying Cascade. Cascade would actually be kind of cool. Thinking of it, like, and again, I mean, you just built Living End, so it's one of those things of like. Cascade, absolutely.
Yeah. I want some more Cascade cards.
We just had Cycle, and now we have Cascade, so it's just like Living End block.
More Living End stuff. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean... yeah, see, this Cascade and Cycle can't be in the same format. Well, like, really, though. Yeah, just please break standard again, because really.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, Affinity for basic lands.
I remember that. I actually liked that a lot. Affinity for islands.
Mm-hmm.
But
Spire Golem.
Oh yeah, some sweet Spire Golem action. Okay, so I'm gonna put your feet to the fire now, because I think we're getting some.
What did you say?
I said I'm gonna.
Did you just put my face to the fire?
I initially said that.
I have a beard. That would hurt.
Well, so do I. But
you're not the one getting your face put
I'm
on fire.
pushing your face in the fire, so I'm gonna be right there. My beard's gonna catch on fire too. So I'm gonna put your feet to the fire.
Okay.
What mechanic would you pick that comes back?
Okay.
Or mechanic or keyword, I should say.
Mechanic or keyword. I'm trying to read through because I'm thinking like, hold on, man. Infect.
Yeah, not bringing back Infect either.
No, absolutely not. I'm gonna look at some of this. I don't know, because I need ideas.
Well, let's see. We have Split Second.
Oh, Threshold.
Oh, okay.
Threshold.
That's what your answer is going to be?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Oh, Exalted. Ooh, no.
No?
I think Exalted would actually be. Because, okay, I actually think Exalted might, like, looking at this, I had an actual serious note.
Okay.
Exalted, I think, might be good, also for, like, some of the Vorthos.
Sure.
All of us, right? Just because, like, with this whole, like, with the gods and everything that are
Yeah.
going on in this set, we didn't really see anything like that in Theros.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Like in Theros, we had the Devotion, which was great. But now, if they're going to start having these gods into this set, we need to have something that also plays into those gods.
Oh, okay, sure.
Otherwise, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure. I guess Exalted would work like,
Yeah.
you're exalting a god. That's
Exactly.
right. Okay.
I'm going to say Exalted.
Okay.
For the sake of like I said, the Vorthos in us, and as well as just for the sake of, I think mechanic-wise, look at just. Like I said, that was kind of just well, let me put my finger on this one and call it good.
Yeah.
But really, I actually think Exalted.
Exalted's a really good one though. Exalted's
Yeah.
a good one to come back. I think it's what's the not evergreen, but like it can appear in a core set now.
Yeah.
But like Exalted is always something I like having in standard. It's always a fun thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, that's gonna end the 5 questions of doom, as I'm calling it from now on. But yeah, we're gonna host you over to TJ's stream. He's a little sleepy. He's coming out of a meeting. Apparently it was super boring because he wasn't here. Obviously.
Most meetings are. I'm not gonna lie.
But anyway, I'm Coleman.
I'm Nate.
And we're gonna wish you good night from Geek Fortress. May all your games be awesome. We really don't have an ending
No,
thing.
you don't.
No, I think TJ does, but I can never remember it.
I mean, there's like Stay Classy San Diego. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think
like,
that's copyrighted.
Really?
I think
No.
so. Well, we have this whole thing of we can only use generic things.
Oh, really? Oh,
All right,
they're kicking us
and
out.
we are gonna head out.
Good night.
So peace out, y'all.
I just want to point out